2366.
Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. And one more thing, this Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November, so why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements right now at res-q.com. Do it today.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. Make sure your child or grandchild has all the tools they need to succeed this school year. Call Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown, 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them right now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child can avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, bipolar. Don't wait. Prepare your student now. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for that no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today, 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today, 800-300-0003.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney. On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
I gotta see if I remember what I'm doing in here, Daniel. Greetings, strangers. I hope you missed me a fraction as much as I missed you. That's not true. And I didn't ask you how you felt. We all know how you felt. You were happy for a 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
You can at least pretend a little bit. That's how relationships work.
sorry. Do you want to try this again?
Yeah, let's try this again. Welcome back. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Great to be with you all. And you say?
Oh my God, I missed you so much. I miss you so much. I miss you so much. I'm so glad you're back.
I don't know why it had to be a list, but
I'm so glad.
Okay.
So
Off
glad
to
you're
a
back.
great start here tonight on the Matt Rooney Show. And I always mean exactly what I say. I am so excited to be here this evening. I always am, but more so than usual because I've been gone for a little bit. You may have noticed. I left you all on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, you teased the post-election show, and now all of a sudden,
I know.
we're 2 weeks past the election, and now
That's right.
here's our post-election show.
We had this massive pre-election show, right, with Dave McCormick and one of Donald Trump's top advisors, and great ratings, obviously, and everything was going great. And then I was part of 1210's election night coverage, which was wild because you may have heard it went well for the good guys. And then, boom, I'm gone.
You're the worst.
I am the worst.
You're the worst.
I am the worst. But I return to you all now that my home state of New Jersey is officially a swing state. So one battle's done. The war is just getting underway. We've got a lot of work to do, young Dan. Hope you're up for it.
I'm not, but we'll get to it.
Do what you can.
Yeah.
Do what you can, because we got a big year coming up here, and I'm going to explain what's in store for us here in just a moment. Some stuff to get out of the way. 855-839-1210. That's our number here at the Matt Rooney Show if you want to call in. But here's how we like to hang out with you. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210 WPHT, where you can confirm that I am indeed as handsome as I sound. And tonight, since we didn't get to celebrate with each other yet directly after election night, I am rocking my Donald Trump Deal With It shirt. See, you got a decent angle on it. I'll puff my chest out a little bit here so you can see the rest of the Donald's face. And I'm not trying to be
chest. Go ahead, show your chest.
Well,
there it is. That's what the people pay for, all right?
And that's what puts the keisters in the seats here. We know that. I am not wearing this shirt, of course, though, to be a troll, because would I ever do that? Of course not. That's not my personality.
Yeah, you would.
You're right, I would.
Stop lying to the people.
It's not good to start out the program with a lie. No, I'm here to entertain. I want everybody to have fun and enjoy themselves. So this very colorful shirt that says "Deal With It" with Donald Trump making a very Trumpian face, it makes me smile, and I hope it makes you smile too. Lots in store on tonight's show as per usual. But again, if you're over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210 WPHD, give us a like, participate in the comments. Lots of chatter already tonight. Make sure you share it on social media, all over the interwebs, wherever you can be found and your friends can be found, so we can spread the word about this very important program. Where have I been? Let's break it down. So we have the election night coverage on 1210. And then one of the things about having a Sunday night show, even though this program continues to grow by leaps and bounds, is as big as the Matt Rooney Show has become, we're still not as big as the NFL. We're getting there.
But
maybe
next week. Maybe next week we'll be there.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe next
So
week.
occasionally, because we work for a corporation, and this is corporate America, they have a fat contract to play NFL games. So occasionally we get bumped for an NFL game. And of course, it's the week after the election. But because I was knocking doors like some of you were, and I was up on election night doing coverage until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, my wife finally came down and found me asleep in my home office in my chair and kind of shook me and said, "What happened?" And I was like, "Ooh, Trump won," and then went back to sleep.
Were you really up at 3, 4 in the morning?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. I was tweeting up a storm.
I fell asleep at like 2.
I
I was done at 2. I was like, I'm done.
No, I did the whole thing, and we did such a good job on Twitter. And you can check out my handle, Matt Rooney NJ, over on X, whatever they call it now. That I actually qualified for that Twitter monetization, where they like give you money when people interact with your tweets. That's how many tweets we got. Millions in the lead up to the election of impressions.
Are you able to disclose how much money you've made from these tweets?
Oh, like $6. Yeah, no more than that, but not enough for you to get a raise. So don't.
Let's say, where's my cut?
Don't get excited.
I put you on the map. Where's my cut?
You stay back. You stay back, Daniel. There may be some high noons in your future this Christmas, and I'll spring for I was going to say spring for nicer ones, but there is no nicer.
I haven't
one.
had,
It's
dude.
garbage.
I
know you switched.
Yeah, I haven't had this in a while.
Yeah.
I could appreciate a good nooner. Good
Good
nooner.
A
but I haven't.
good nooner? Well,
yeah,
that's one thing I can't
haven't
do.
had them in a while.
I can't do that for you. That's where our friendship stops. I will not be helping you with nooners.
Maybe on Fridays.
And this is a family program, Daniel.
Maybe.
You know, we don't engage in that kind of naughty talk.
Yeah, maybe on Fridays.
Maybe on Fridays.
Maybe on Fridays.
So that's what happened the week after the election, which was disappointing. But my point is that I was kind of tired, so I didn't hate the opportunity to spend a weekend with my family. Mrs. Rooney likes when I'm around on Sunday night. As supportive as she is of our project here at the Matt Rooney Show. And then the next week, I was like, all right, well, here we go. We're going to do our post-election program. I had a couple really good guests actually lined up. Dan wasn't able to sleep the night before. He was so revved up to come in here and do that program. And then around lunchtime last Sunday, I turned a little green in the gills. One of my little petri dishes I live with, my children who I love, brought home a bug from school or daycare or somewhere. And I got hit with a gastrointestinal virus. And I don't want to give you all of the gory details. Needless to say, just about every color came out of me, as you may see on a Christmas tree.
Hot.
Over the
That's
course
kinky.
of 24 hours.
That is kinky.
Yeah, that is. I know.
Yeah.
I know. So I tried to even then gut it out. I was still going to come in here. Probably like wearing one of those adult diapers, like that astronaut. Remember that drove all the way to like Florida to confront their former boyfriend? Remember that story from several years ago?
Nope.
I was going to do that. I keep forgetting you're like 6 years old. So I was going to do that,
7.
to still do this program, but my wife looked at me and said, "It's just not happening, bud. That's one thing your listeners don't want to share with you, what you are currently going through." So I was deeply disappointed. We had to play a best of Rooney.
I don't know if it was a best of Rooney, if it was a best of Kale.
A best of Kale?
It was a best of something.
Well, let's hope they did the best of Kale tape instead of the best of Rooney, because it was probably better than this.
I also haven't done a best of Rooney since before I left.
Well, that's what I was concerned about
So
when you told me.
it's years outdated.
I was going to say, it's going to be me talking about the 2022 midterms
Or it's going to be about you talking about the whales or something like that.
Yeah,
It's going to be
right.
really outdated.
That's right.
Yeah.
Will Donald Trump seek re-election?
Yeah.
So here we are, though. We're together tonight, and we have a very big program in store for you. Coming up here in just about 20 minutes, we're going to be joined by Mark Mitchell. You know him as the head pollster of Rasmussen, who, spoiler alert, was once again one of the most accurate pollsters of the entire national cycle. He pretty darn well nailed it. When many of the other major pollsters that the legacy media are constantly telling us we're supposed to pay homage to didn't come close, predicted that Kamala Harris is going to win, or they just kind of wimped out and said it was going to be a tie. So we want to talk to Mark about exactly what happened from a numbers perspective. Also, he's a Jersey guy. He's a resident of the dirty Jersey, the Garden State, where I am also from. What's that?
So Springsteen.
So Springsteen?
Yeah.
We don't talk about him around here.
Okay, sorry.
We don't talk about Bruce around here.
Sorry.
Let's leave that on the other side of the river.
Okay.
But he's going to join us, and I want to give a little bit of perspective from him, gain a little bit about 2025 in New Jersey. I don't think he's polled Jersey at this point. I don't think anybody's really polled Jersey recently. But since Donald Trump came within 5 points, about 5.5 points of flipping the Garden State, something no Republican has done since 1988. Want to get a sense of, all right, well, what does a path to victory look like for a Republican here next year? And the results, we're going to get into that over the course of the holiday season. I'm going to bring on some New Jersey politics expert to help you break it down, because that's something I'm uniquely qualified to do, as the proprietor of a website called SaveJersey.com. But Donald Trump tied Kamala Harris in some towns in North Jersey that are majority Hispanic. He won some wards in Newark, okay, with large numbers of Hispanic voters. I think he probably ultimately ended up doing better than 25% of the black vote in certain parts of New Jersey. That's the number the exit polls pegged him at nationally. Flipped multiple counties, including Passaic County in North Jersey, that's full of Arab Americans, Hispanic Americans, very diverse county. What happened there was truly seismic. And with New Jersey having one of the only games in town next year, a gubernatorial race, Phil Murphy's term limited. We're going to be all over that one. So let's get Mark Mitchell's 2 cents here in just about 12 minutes, 24 minutes. And then
Math's not
later,
your strong suit. I understand.
What's that?
You're a radio guy. Math is really not your strong suit. I mean, I think you're a lawyer, so I get it.
I only can count in 6-minute intervals.
Yeah,
that's
it's
how
fine.
I bill people.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have you here to watch the clock.
Weird. No, I'm not even watching the clock, to be honest with you.
What are you doing tonight?
Watch the Packers game. Continue.
We'll get Bella back on at some point, but I want to know whether you do a better job faking it with her.
Faking what?
Just interest. General interest in another human being other than yourself?
No, because when she talks, I'm always intrigued to listen to what she has to say. So I think it's just you. Yeah, it's definitely just you. But sometimes I have an interest in what you have to say. I don't have an interest when you show up 10 minutes before the show needs to go on. But, it is what it is.
There was an accident on 295. I told you that. A car was completely incinerated.
It's not my problem.
I'm hoping whoever was in it got out. I know that's not your problem. Cold and callous guy that you are. So back to the show for a second. Let's move away from Dan's feelings, back to what we're here to do. In the final hour of our program on that New Jersey subject, we're going to be joined by one of my favorite New Jersey legislators, even though it's Jersey. As I've been telling you now for years, we are not hopelessly blue. One of the ways in which we're not hopelessly blue is we have some pretty solid Republican leaders, even in Trenton. One of them is Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia. She has a great name for politics, too, Fantasia, right? She's going to join us in the final hour of the program. She represents the 24th Legislative District to give us a little bit of a preview of the election year to come. She's on the ballot along with the entire Assembly, about the gubernatorial race maybe. And we have to talk about some of the wacky bills coming out of Trenton that she's zeroed in on over the course of just the past week. I'll give you a preview of my personal favorite. Trenton wants to ban bird feeders. That's right.
Ban them.
They want to ban them.
I'm in favor of that. Ban them. Let's go. Let's.
You support the bird feeder
Let's
ban.
rally them up. Let's ban them.
You've long been outspoken.
Get rid of the
against
bird feeders.
You don't want Tweety to have a snack?
No.
What do you have against bird feeders?
So Joy Turn, I converted to a Democrat, and I want to ban everything.
You converted to a Democrat?
I want to ban everything.
I'm gone 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you come back a Rachel
No,
liberal?
this was in the past.
I mean, I know you have Rachel Maddow's glasses, but I didn't expect you to come back with her political
No, this
views.
is just the past. However long my hiatus was.
Oh, I see. Prior to your triumphant return.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we got to do conversion therapy.
I'm qualified to do it.
No other person I'd want.
Well, so we're going to work on that tonight. Maybe Dawn's got a recommendation, but she'll join us in the 9 o'clock hour because they give us 3 hours to this program. They're crazy enough to do it. Interestingly enough, Mark Mitchell, who's going to be our guest here later this hour, just tweeted this out. Exclusive, Donald Trump to kick transgender troops out of the U.S. military. Apparently, it's been announced that there will be an executive order when Donald Trump comes into office that he plans to sign, obviously, that would force 15,000 service members out of their posts. 15,000 trans members of the military?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think if people want to serve our country, they should be able to serve our country no matter who you are. Woman, man, trans woman. I know I won't do it, so if they are willing to do it, by all means go for it. It's not something I technically agree with. That's just me. But, I mean, I'm not the president.
That's the problem. All the people that we need to get into the military because you refuse to serve and are incapable of serving. I don't know if you could pick up a bucket of water. Truthfully.
I could pick up a bucket of water.
Are we sure?
Yeah. One hand, two hand. How many hands are we talking?
One. You have to use one.
Oh, I could do it.
Really?
100%.
All right, maybe we need to have a contest on the program or something. Can Dan pick up a bucket of water? And this is a full bucket of water, pal.
Never mind. Can't do it.
Does it have a hole in the bottom?
But I'm just saying, I don't necessarily agree with that.
I understand your perspective.
Yeah.
And that always was my perspective, that if I don't want a military that's built around virtue signaling. So if somebody can qualify to serve, regardless of identity. I'm not offended by it. If we're lowering, relaxing, changing standards in order to artificially gain somebody's participation, I have a problem with that. The only thing that I would say in this context, and I've talked to folks who've served, I never served, who've actually been in the military and been in these situations, and it doesn't take much imagination to understand where they're coming from. When you have a military that's comprised of older teenagers and young men in their 20s, and some women too, and you introduce into it someone who, for example, wants to cosplay as a woman and wear a dress and be known as Charlene instead of Charles, which was their birth name, and they've got a massive, you know what, underneath the skirt, right? Hanging out in the barracks with everybody else. Kind of a disruptive, not very cohesive variable when you're trying to create a cohesive unit to go, blow stuff up and win battles and defend the country.
But again,
you see my point, though?
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, if they're willing to do it, why aren't we letting them do it? Like, why is he just signing this? Like, for what reason?
Because of my point. I think that generals are probably telling the president that he actually trusts, listen, this has been a disruptive force in the military that threatens our cohesion. Instead of focusing on battle readiness and making sure we continue to have the greatest fighting force anywhere in the globe, we've been focusing on wokeness, and instead of our units training and becoming this cohesive unit that's capable of going and fighting and taking on whoever we need to, they're getting distracted with this other nonsense. That's what I suspect is happening.
I can't argue with that. But again, overall, I still disagree with it. If there's a disruptance or whatever it is, cool. But if I'm not going to do it and someone else is willing to do it, they should do it. And I could get a lot of hate for that, especially on the station. But that's just me. If someone wants to do it,
well, they hate you already.
That's
so
fine.
don't.
They can. I don't really care. But if they want to do it and they want to sign up and they want to enlist and they want to do all this, go for it. I'm not going to do it, so someone else has to do it. And if they want to do it, go ahead. I don't see why that really bothers anyone. And if there's evidence that it bothers people, then
you're fine with training soldiers, but if they set up a bird feeder on base,
I can't do you can't do bird feeders. You can't do the bird feeders.
They're out.
Yeah, they're out.
That's where Dan draws the line.
That's where I draw the line. You set up a bird feeder, you're out. I'm sorry.
Listen. Every man has to have his line in the sand, and that's yours. That's a real thing, by the way. I'll tweet the bill later before Dawn comes on. They recently amended it. They're going to make an exception for, I think it's January to March.
No exceptions. You got to get them out.
These are the kinds of things that our leaders in states like New Jersey occupy themselves with, and I think that that's one of the stories that was told in the election this year. And I've talked about this on this program now going back to, I think when we start, July 21. So we've been on for a few years. It's a question of priorities for the American people if it's presented correctly. I think part of what happened this year, it's not that people that previously disliked or had disdain for Donald Trump woke up and decided all of a sudden they loved him, or there was this ideological revolution among Americans in the heartland or anything like that. I think that a critical mass of voters decided that the Democrat Party's priorities are becoming increasingly narrow and fringe. If your name is, Kylie Johnson Fescherschmidt, living in an affluent suburb, and your greatest complaint during the pandemic was that you ran out of stuff to watch on Netflix, and you continue to get your auto debit from your employer. Nobody can figure out what you do anyway, but you punch in on a computer every day and do it from home. And you have the financial security that, candidly, inflation for you, it's kind of annoying, but it's not something that forces you to decide, for example, whether or not you're going to be able to give your kids Christmas. If that's you, you can afford to obsess over things like abortion and who gets to pee in which bathroom, and these cultural issues that Americans just, they think the Democrat Party has become increasingly myopically obsessed with. There's no other way to say it. And I think they punish the Democrat Party accordingly. It's one of the angles of election 2024 that I don't think is getting enough attention, but it will here on the Matt Rooney Show. 855-839-1210. Then be our digits again over YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Break numero uno of the evening. Let's play some ads, make some money, and we'll be back with more on 1210 in just a moment.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
It's that time of year again. Hi, it's George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rule stores. If you're a pet parent like I am, you know that the holidays are just as important to our four-legged kids as they are to us. At the Dogs and Cats Rule stores, our goal is to make your holiday shopping easier. When it comes to getting the cutest Christmas-themed toys, collars, and leads, we have absolutely everything. That's Dogs and Cats Rule, now with 7 convenient locations. Shop small, shop local, shop family. Happy holidays from all of us at Dogs and Cats Rule.
This football season, get yourself a win by losing. Call NJ Diet today and you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. You'll shock family during holiday get-togethers, and more importantly, your doctor should finally be able to give you good news about your blood work. Not only that, but losing weight is linked to help boosting low T. Best of all, there are no shots or nasty side effects. Call today, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com.
Tune into a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie this Saturday morning at 8. Get the latest information on news affecting your health and wellness. Your Radio Doctor at a special time this Saturday, November 30th at 8 a.m.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
I will tell you this much, Dan. As happy as I am to be back here on 1210 this week. If Elon Musk calls and says, Matt, I'm buying MSNBC, we need a weekend host, I'm out of here.
Okay.
Peace out. You're welcome to come.
I'm not doing TV.
You're not doing TV? You would work for Elon Musk? Maybe get a free Tesla.
Having and being involved in TV in high school and college, it's what I wanted to do originally. It's absolutely not. I don't want to do it again. It was way too much
going
work.
back?
Yes.
All right, well, fine. I'll do it without you.
Okay.
You know who wants to work at MSNBC?
Yeah,
if
Joe
Elon
Rogan.
buys it, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he wants to make Rachel Maddow's spot.
Yeah, he said he's going to wear, and this is from X, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I will wear the same outfit and glasses, and I will tell the same lies. Oh, God. There's just been too much fun to be had since this election, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Every day. And, for what it's worth, I am not someone, and I'm not joking here. I'm being serious. I'm being super serial.
Super serial.
Super serial. I don't delight in other people's pain, even when I think that I'm right and they're wrong, and I think that it's good that they lost for the good of the country or whatever. This is a little different, this election. I'm not happy that there are, for example, young women crying on TikTok because they genuinely have been deluded into believing that Donald Trump is Orange Hitler.
Hey, just to the tease, the 9 o'clock hour, I do have some meltdowns from TikTok.
Oh, you do?
Not a lot. It's kind of like a compilation of one.
But you threw a few in the stew.
But I did. But there is a lot of them in the compilation.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
I'd expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Gold star.
Yeah. Granted, these were post-election that I had these. So.
Right, yeah. They were ready for the post-election show that never happened.
Yeah.
But, I take no joy in that young lady crying on TikTok in the sense that I think it's sad that there's that many people that are that deluded. But people like Rachel Maddow and Joy Behar and Mika and Joe over on MSNBC, these are bad people. They are the ones that have been more responsible than any others for sowing discord in this country over the course of the past several years.
I did see a clip of Mika basically flirting with Trump before he started running. It was probably in 2016 or whatever.
Well, that's
so it's kind of funny how they all loved him, and then immediately he started running. They're like, we hate him now. F that guy.
Well, that's the part of it that makes it even sicker. Because do you think that they actually believed half the things they were saying about him?
No,
of course not. They were play acting for their audiences, and forget even the divisions they've created in this country. They probably gave a lot of people genuine mental illness. They catalyzed a lot of that in the population by lying to people and convincing them that Donald Trump was something that he wasn't. And it's one of the reasons why MSNBC's ratings are now cratering, because the bubble has burst. Donald Trump coming into a second term now. He's in transition, right? And he's appointed, let's run through the list here. We have a Treasury Secretary nominee who is gay, openly gay. We've got Indian American members of this administration. We have the first ever female chief of staff. Orange Hitler's doing a really good job of doing the whole Nazi thing.
Here, do you want numbers real quick?
Yeah, lay it on me.
From the day after the election to date, MSNBC has averaged a total day viewership of 521,000. Down 38% from its 2024 average through Election Day, while CNN averaged 367,000 total viewers, a 27% decline from before the election. Meanwhile, Fox News saw a 41% boost in total day viewership, now averaging 2.1 million.
And this did not happen after 2016. After the 2016, they've watched too many movies. It was We Are the Resistance, right? And it actually energized the left because they were in shock. They couldn't believe that Donald Trump could win, and they rallied to their safe places. And MSNBC was one of them. It's a little different this time.
If you want me to break it down even more, MSNBC's ratings...
I'm mainly shocked how prepared you are tonight.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
I decided to do my job for once.
Only took him 2 weeks.
MSNBC's ratings in key cable demo among adults 25 to 54 also slid 53% in prime time and 41% in total day, while CNN's demo audience dropped 35% in prime time and 26% in total day. And then Fox News jumped up basically 50%.
They're cratering.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to express, but I think most of you in the audience are savvy enough because you pay attention to the media, how bad it is. For a national program or a time slot to only be averaging in the low 100,000 range, it's abysmal. It's absolutely abysmal. There are radio stations that do better than that. So the challenge right now is to find someone that wants to buy MSNBC. Don't be shocked if somebody like Elon Musk doesn't do it. And then they'll get a total rebrand. And I don't think Jen Psaki's going to have a job very long. Did you see her make the call on election night? I know you said you went to bed at like 9 p.m., Daniel. Did you see her have to announce that Donald Trump had won the presidency?
No, like I said, I went to bed at 2 a.m.
You could just tell that she was dying inside.
Actually, I was watching NBC, not MSNBC, but I was watching NBC the whole night.
Yeah.
And then I basically called it because I'm like, I don't really care. Not that I don't care, but I wanted to go to bed. I was a sleepy boy.
You were a sleepy little man. But you saw which way it was going, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I don't even know what one of the swing states was called. I was like, he's got this in the bag.
Yeah. I felt it going into election night. I had some conversations with friends leading into election week. And, you hate to say this stuff out loud because you don't want to put something bad into the ether. But they said, what do you think's going to happen? And I would say to them, listen, don't quote me because I don't want to look like an idiot. But I'm not sure this is going to be as close as people are saying it is. I didn't think Donald Trump was going to win by 20 points or something. But I remember thinking, you know what? I think that there's a decent chance he's going to win the popular vote. And in the Electoral College, I don't think this is going to be that tight. And something that kind of solidified it for me is when I went door to door in Delaware County. It just didn't feel like a tight election, and it ended up not being. 855-839-1210. Then be our digits here at the Matt Rooney Show. YouTube.com/@1210 WPHT. Quick break. Back with more on the Matt Rooney Show in a second.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
We know you're uncertain about psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a forum legit?
Your one true love is...
me!
That's why California psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your rating isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hi, everyone. This is Dom Giordano here with my friend and dentist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz, it's good for everyone to know you have the technology and the people to help. Like John, that guy is an artisan of teeth.
Having the expertise or the knowledge, having this equipment added to that just allows me to get those consistent, efficient results, and it builds up your confidence in my abilities. Having somebody like John, who's been in this business for decades, is a big help. He's able to come in using this equipment, and he helps me build the case as I'm actually doing the work. And that is unbelievably second to none for that, because that is a benefit I'm blessed with, to have that ability to have that lab here.
Dr. Bentz and the team at Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for the most complex dental cases. Call Dr. Bentz today at 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile.
Don't miss a special edition of the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance, this Saturday, November 30th at noon. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show at a special time, this Saturday at noon.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie, and one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Here's a goodie for you, folks. Fa la 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 as we begin the holiday season. Pew Research. One of the only polls left in the country that isn't complete garbage. More on that in a moment. Roughly half of Democrats and independents, about 51%, are less optimistic about the future of the Democrat Party than they've ever been before. I wonder why. What could possibly be fueling their pessimism, Daniel? Real crisis of confidence on the left. And I talked about this a little bit before the break, and we'll get into it more tonight. This Trump victory, it's substantively different for a few very important reasons, some of which are very obvious to most of you. But after that 2016 shock victory, the left rallied. This time they truly feel defeated. And I'm not suggesting that anyone should get too comfortable out there. That's not at all what I'm preaching or coaching. You got to keep your head on a swivel. We want a very important battle, but the war is far from won. But with all of that being said, there's no doubt that the left has been more than stunned this time. They've been knocked on their keister. Maybe this is what happens when you run on nothing but abortion and Orange Man bad for nearly a decade. It's a little bit hard to recover when your plank, your platform, which is very narrow and very unstable, has been completely taken out from under you. What do they say about building on foundations of sand? 855-839-1210. That's our number here at the Matt Rooney Show. But we've got our first guest, and we're very excited to have him back here. We want to get to that immediately because he's one of the men of the hour, one of the unsung heroes of the election 2024 cycle. Why is that? Because day after day, if you live and breathe polls, which we know better than that, but we can't help it because we were also nervous and neurotic about how this one was going to turn out. You go over to the RCP average and you are just constantly being lied to by these legacy media outlets and universities that pump out garbage polls. And we intuitively knew that there was something wrong with them. But, you know, I'm looking right now at the RCP average. NPR Marist down the home stretch. Their final poll was Harris +4, ended up being off by about 6 points. And there were a few of them. ABC wasn't much better. And then everyone else was hurting. That's what it looked like. They said it was going to be a tie because, candidly, they didn't want to be wrong either way. There were only a handful of pollsters, and one of them was our next guest, who did, oddly enough, the bravest thing that you can do in modern American politics, which is just tell the truth and trust your own data and worry more about being right than being a member of the in crowd. And that's probably why his polling outfit was once again one of the most accurate in all the land. So without further ado, let's bring in the head pollster for Rasmussen Reports, the one, the only, Mark Mitchell. Welcome back to the program, and a hearty congratulations to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Great intro. That's pretty much exactly what happened. Yeah. A lot of clowns and people with egg on their face. You know what? I don't want to steal all the credit, though, because a lot of people did kind of get this right, and that's what's so beautiful about it. It's like Trump's internal pollsters, yeah, they nailed the race.
Trump's
Kamala
internal
Harris's
pollsters,
internal pollsters, they nailed the race. The independent pollsters nailed the race, the betting market, and even most people with their eyes open on Twitter kind of knew how this thing was going to go, and maybe we're a little bit to thank for that, and maybe it's other. But if you're a media pollster, a media modeler like Nate Silver or G. Elliott Morris, or some kind of clown professor, you know, with their keys, you got it wrong, and that's because they all have vested interests in the status quo. They all want to keep the Democrat regime in power, and I think the back of the media has been broken. I think it's finally, after 8 years, they can't shill anymore, and they're on the ropes. They don't have a way forward. There's no clear leader. And so maybe we're going to have a nice window where Trump can come in and actually get his agenda, which is what voters want, like over the finish line.
Well, you're certainly right about them being broken. MSNBC, literally, it looks like that's headed to a fire sale. And all of their sages, I'm thinking of a certain Iowa pollster, Ann Seltzer, who's now announced her retirement. How convenient. Alan Lichtman, you mentioned his keys a moment ago. I heard a podcast the other day. I forget who he was talking to, but he was going back and forth, and it was getting heated, and he accused the person of committing some kind of heresy for questioning him. You just can't make this stuff up. These people have built themselves up in their little media bubble, and now they're crashing and burning. And I agree. I think it's good for everyone. It's good for the American people that these fraudsters are being revealed for who they really are. But let me ask you, because you know this industry better than anyone else. Was it as simple as they were lying to us, or is there something about their methodology versus your methodology that you were ahead of the curve on and they're just not?
Well, there's multiple layers of dishonesty. Maybe there were definitely pollsters like doing a good job, and then the media was cherry picking results that would look favorable to Harris. But all in all, they've gotten it wrong the last two times also, and they know that independent pollsters do better, and they can see the results that we're putting out. And at any point in time, they could have said, well, gee, why are our numbers so off? Look at Rasmussen, because we put out more polling than anybody else except Morning Consult. And if you saw them, they went from Trump +1 all the way to Harris +6. Now, I do think what they did at the end, listen, you talked about the final calls in Real Clear Politics. It was absolutely the worst in August, September, and October. The pollsters were lying way more than when they finished. And like you said, they all herded back basically as close as possible to me, but not close enough to show Donald Trump winning. Almost every single one of those pollsters that showed the national popular vote pretty close to tied, they all put out electoral college maps that had Kamala Harris winning. So basically what it comes down to is they are trying to be as accurate as possible, but still giving the regime as much of, a tailwind as possible. And of course it wasn't enough. And now they're going to have problems.
And you were pretty darn close. Your final poll, let's see, I think it was Trump +3 nationally. That was that survey. I think the last data was from the end of October. Okay.
Yeah, the thing that's happening now with all the early voting is it gets harder and harder to poll in the back half of October. So really our state polling from mid-September, mid-October was the most accurate, and that's where we were putting out Trump +2 nationally for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, we had it for basically all of September and October. Yeah, the final call is 2.4. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like you can only get so close. And really, I think a whole half a point of that is made up crap coming out of California. So, but
where I think they're still counting votes as we speak.
Yeah, right. In my opinion, it comes down to the states, because we all know it's about the swing states. And we think we did a good job. Our final call, if you average all the battlegrounds, leaned about 0.3 points to Harris. So that's basically no bias. And the average of all of our state polling was about 0.8 points to Harris, so a slight left bias. And I was telling people that. And we showed Michigan going to Harris. So we got, 6 out of the 7 right, but also Michigan was within the margin of error for us. And really what's incredible is that at no point in time did we ever show Kamala Harris winning the Electoral College, even as far back as August. And, you're going to hear a lot of stuff out there about independent pollsters saying, oh, no, I'm most accurate. And it's like, well, they might be referring to the data they put out one day before Election Day when 60% of the country had already voted, right? So I guess my point is people should follow us and pay attention to what we see in August and September and October, because that's when peak psychological operation season is.
And I think the only reason why someone like myself didn't successfully drive themselves crazy is because I have been deprogrammed. I follow you. I know where to find you on X and obviously your YouTube channel where you do some great updates. Rich Barris is definitely a major part of my sanity. We've had him on the program, the Big Dad, a pollster. His rants are epic. We'd have him on more. He's just not FCC kosher. That's the only problem. That's part of the reason I love him on YouTube. He is colorful. He could be from New Jersey, given how he talks. That's how all of us are off the air. Atlas Intel, they did a pretty good job this cycle once again as well. There are good pollsters out there, as you say. It's just, once again, the oxygen from the beautiful people continues to be given almost exclusively to the fraudsters.
The thing about Atlas is like 2/3 of their polling came out after my final call. And really, there's no of the issue sets, the questions, the fundamentals to know what's going on in the race. They basically just put out the headline number of the matchup. But I as you know, since July, we've been saying, well, only roughly 35% of people say they're better off than they were 4 years ago. 22% say their kids will have a better future than their parents. Like, that's horrible. Everybody hates the federal government. This election was a referendum on the federal government, and people following us knew that. And quite frankly, Kamala Harris probably did about as good as a generic Dem candidate could have done, given the crappy hand she was dealt. I think Biden definitely lost this for her.
That seems pretty darn clear now. And Democrats, we were talking about this earlier in the program, seem a little lost in the woods at the moment. Couldn't happen to nicer people. Now, we're broadcasting tonight from Philadelphia, as you know. That's the mothership. So we've spent a lot of time this past cycle on this program and this station talking about Pennsylvania, but I'm a South Jersey guy. South Jersey's very much in our listening region, and the battle continues there next year, where Donald Trump came within, I think, 5.5 points of winning my home state. I have to tell you, that's the thing on election night that I was the most excited about, because I knew what it potentially portended for the future. You've been polling now this race for months, not the gubernatorial race, but the presidential race. You saw what was happening with Hispanic voters, black voters. I know you haven't polled New Jersey yet, but what do you see in terms of reason to be optimistic for New Jersey Republicans heading into next year?
Well, we kind of did. We actually pulled our data from all of our nightlies and picked up on the move. We basically took all of our matchups that had New Jersey as a state source, weighted it to 2020, and it went from Biden 16 to, I think we had Harris plus 8 or 9. So actually New Jersey outperformed. Here's the thing. I don't think New Jersey has a shot of going, well, it's not going to be Trump, but going MAGA or going Republican until, I think, from a nationwide perspective, the philosophy around electoral integrity changes. There's so much of an effort focused on delaying and making sure every ballot gets cured, and really loose with the mail-in ballots, you know what I mean? And not a lot of tight controls over the large blue population centers. And I think Trump intends to really, it may have a plan, I haven't heard it, but I know they're talking about it, come in and do some really strong national accountability work from an elections integrity standpoint. And that could have major ramifications because, I watched the Chitterelli race. I don't think everything was above board. Let's just say that.
Oh, you mean you mean how in the middle of the night all of a sudden certain counties flipped in the opposite direction? Yeah,
all these votes just appeared out of thin air. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, corruption. It's one of the things, unfortunately, we're known for in my state. But you could be right. You could be right. Let's see who ends up. Well, we know Pam Bondi's been nominated to be Attorney General. She would probably do a great job. We'll see who becomes the U.S. Attorney in New Jersey. It's the president's
prerogative.
prerogative.
I've heard talks about an election integrity style commission too, and I don't know how big it'll be and what kind of teeth and who it'll be running. But the country needs that because I've said it a few times in different shows. The country moved over 6 points to the right. That's like a modern day landslide. That's a massive mandate. Well, the Republicans really didn't pick up anything down ballot. They should have done better in the Senate. really in
some of that's the Republican
years,
brand, though, right? Trump's brand is stronger than the Republican brand, which I know that Barris, for example, has talked about it. I'm constantly preaching it.
I don't know how much of that's true. Here's the thing. It's like I have a bunch of polling that shows that Republicans do have a brand disadvantage. Mostly Republican voters think they're losers. And so the problem is that people who are hurting don't have another alternative. And so how we can gauge that is the generic ballot. And Republicans on the generic ballot in the battlegrounds were doing just as good as Trump was. So that's the thing. And also the Senate, some of the Senate candidates, the one who lost, did worse in my polling than I thought they could have done otherwise. And so there's a whole lot of questions that, in my opinion, have to be answered about that.
Well, case in point, what happened in Pennsylvania, counting illegal ballots? How much of that is going on that we don't know about? Obviously, that was brought to light because the Republicans and the Trump people and the McCormick campaign were watching like hawks. Is stuff like that happening elsewhere?
Well, buses and same-day voter registration in Milwaukee, probably a problem. And I do think, Tuesday night, election night, there was a period where I'm like, oh, that's it. They're going to stop counting in the Rust Belt. Harris needs to sweep all three. And I think they just couldn't produce enough. Madison had already dumped their ballots. There was already enough in from Philadelphia and Detroit to know that the Democrat margin just wasn't as high. And listen, there were people on the ground, like Crowder was saying, they have video of like Trump's pulling up at 2 a.m. with like suitcases and stuff like that. So there are problems like that have to be looked at. Problems with compilers in Arizona about the ballots printed on different papers. So I don't want to get into all of it, right? But we all know, we all saw, and that's why 2/3 of the country is concerned about cheating in the elections. Now, what I can say is that on the back half of this one, people are a lot more confident in 2024 than they were in 2020. And so that's good. We're moving in the right direction. And even not very many Democrats thought that cheating might have affected. I don't think we've published these yet, but they're coming up probably this week. Not many Democrats think that cheating affected this one. I think it was in the high 30s or low 40s. So that's a good sign, but it's not enough to just sweep it under the rug. Because when you have 66% of voters going into an election, that's the problem. It got so bad that people were expecting violent reactions no matter who won. And the fact that we haven't seen them, well, getting back to, like you said, it's a mix of demoralization, no unity in the media, infighting, people like, going off to their little echo chamber in blue sky. The real problem for the Democrats is that when you have a situation, it's always these strong septuagenarian power brokers, and they haven't been developing a bench. And now that Biden's on the outs, Kamala Harris lost, everybody still thinks that she's the next best face of the party leadership, and that's horrifying.
Horrifying for them, promising for Republicans, I guess. But this is why New Jersey's going to be so interesting next year, folks. It's a test case for many things. Can Republicans win without Trump? Can we make progress on the election integrity front? We're definitely going to have to bug you to come back again next year, Mark Mitchell. No rest for the wicked, unfortunately, because I know at some point you're going to be polling New Jersey, and we're going to need to get your insight. But we appreciate you joining us tonight on the Matt Rooney Show, and congratulations again.
Yeah, thanks so much. Anytime. Just tell me when.
You're the best. That's Mark Mitchell, everyone, from Rasmussen Report. You can find him on X, Mark_R_Mitchell. 1 hour done on the Matt Rooney Show, but 2 more still ahead. Back in just a sec. Don't go anywhere.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Let me tell you about my buddy, Dr. Mike Veneri, a great guy. Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, or implant dentistry, look no further. Dr. Veneri and his award-winning team, they have your whole family covered, just like mine. Dr. Veneri's office exceeds CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control with centralized UV sterilization of airflow to ensure your safety. Locations right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury, 856-786-2020 or veneriadental.com.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know that men across the country are getting their ED meds at TriRexMD.com and saving thousands of dollars? TriRexMD.com has FDA-approved ED meds and is now offering sample packs. Listen to what guys are saying about TriRexMD.com.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier.
I walk a little taller when I'm using the product, knowing what the results are going to be.
Because it is effective, I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Visit TriRexMD.com. Your consultation is free, there's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. You can now access a 30-day sample pack at TriRexMD.com with generics if appropriate. Visit TriRexMD.com right now to get your sample pack. That's TriRexMD.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212. Tune in to a special edition of Your Radio Doctor with Dr. Marianne Ritchie this Saturday morning at 8. Get the latest information on news affecting your health and wellness. Your Radio Doctor at a special time this Saturday, November 30th at 8 a.m.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney. On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Welcome Welcome back, old friends, new frenemies, and all who lie elsewhere in between on the spectrum that is life. I am Matt Rooney. This is the Matt Rooney Show, coming at you from the banks of the mighty Schuylkill River, here in the city of not-so-brotherly love.
For sure kill, as they might say.
That's right.
For sure kill.
Go Eagles.
Nope. Not gonna say
Go
that.
Eagles.
Not going to say that one. You tried.
Are your Cowboys playing today? When did the Cowboys play?
They already played.
How'd they do?
They played at 1 and Packers was finished.
Did they lose again?
No.
Oh, the Cowboys won?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Christmas miracle for you. They're so far back it doesn't matter.
They're third in your division.
Yeah, it's pretty far back.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen,
yeah.
I guess. Hopefully not. Hope you all doing just fine tonight on this this post-election edition of the Matt Rooney Show. It took us all the way to Thanksgiving week to have it for the reasons which we articulated.
It's technically our Thanksgiving show now, too.
It's now our Thanksgiving
show. It's our post-election Thanksgiving show.
Holiday spectacular.
Right. Yes. Holiday spectacular. All right.
Not just a spectacular, a spectacular.
Same thing.
Because it's when it's more dramatic. For whatever reason you say lar instead of
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't make the rules.
Cream R?
Yeah. 855-839-1210. That's our number here on the Matt Rooney Show. And then over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Like it, subscribe, as the Gen Zers like Dan would say, do all the things because it helps us out. And it's lively in the comments tonight. Haven't really called anybody out yet, but hello, Steve, my buddy from Township. The lovely Bella is in the chat, or at least she was earlier.
She still is.
The significant other of producer Daniel here. Gmail says Rooney's safety is in danger if he wears that shirt in Philly. For those of you that are listening the old-fashioned way, not watching YouTube, I have a shirt on tonight with Donald Trump's face that says deal with it. So, yeah, my chance of making it home back across the Delaware to New Jersey, probably 50-50 at best.
I mean, you got here. That's all that matters.
I got here, yeah.
Hopefully there's no Tesla fires on the way home.
No Tesla fires on the way home, that's right.
Or, speaking of Tesla fires, you know, I also saw a Tesla accident on the way into my full-time job. And it obviously made me late, but the Tesla was in a tree.
It was in a tree?
Yeah, like it drove off-road, like it went off-roading or something, and I guess they couldn't figure it out how to steer or whatever, and it just went right into a tree.
Now, when you say in a tree, you mean not, because when you first
said
that,
like a tree house on top of the tree, the Tesla was like it on top of the tree.
Oh, really?
No, it was just crashed into a tree.
Oh, okay, because the way you originally said it, I'm thinking like, you know that like Harry Potter when they fly the car into the tree?
Nope.
The Whomping Willow?
No.
That wasn't that.
I don't know Harry Potter. Bella does. I don't. But no, it was not that. It was just in.
I mean, you kind of look like effeminate Hispanic Harry Potter. That's why I thought you were Harry Potter. Harry Potter guy. Potterhead.
All right, that's enough out of you.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
We're done.
Okay.
We're done.
He doesn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, but like,
are you not entertained, Daniel?
Like, crashed head on into a tree.
That stinks.
Yeah, and I was like, that sucks for them. And I just drove my Nissan. I'm like, I just went straight over. You know what I mean?
Straight over.
That's what just drove out. So
you're really a wonderful person.
Hey, well,
a truly wonderful person. The depth of feeling you have for your fellow man is just inspiring.
Sure. I said it the last time we were here. It seems like a month ago. But the last time we were on, I said, I think everyone's just dumb. I think everyone's just stupid. So it proves my point. The guy drove into a tree. Clearly doesn't know how to drive.
Well, I mean, how do we know that something didn't happen? Maybe the poor guy had a heart attack or...
Oh, no, they were they were perfectly fine. They were all standing out there. They were all standing like, how'd my car get into a tree?
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
How did that tree jump out in front of my car?
Exactly my point.
All right. Well, it's fine to make fun of since he's alive. Whoever he is.
Yeah.
He's probably going to call in. Call in if you're listening.
Don't even think he knows the stations exist.
I doubt it. Very low chance.
Yeah.
But again, if you're watching over on YouTube, give us a like. Appreciate everybody's participation in class as per usual. A little bit of commentary about our guest in the first hour, Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen, who came on to share some of his thoughts. Nice little cautionary warning for all of us that are exuberant about New Jersey next year after
Daddy owes you.
Daddy does owe you.
It's a little warning. Daddy owes you.
Yeah, that is a little warning. Is that our new warning, Hockey?
It can be.
When there's caution that needs to be taken.
Daddy owes you.
Just better watch out.
Can you imagine how many times the big guy said that, him and Hunter, to some Ukrainian oligarch?
Oh, I was going to say to the children that he sniffed, but that's
yeah, I mean,
that's also
part and parcel. Yeah. So Mark Mitchell gave us a little bit of a cautionary note, though, for New Jersey for next year, the gubernatorial race, which is that, it's all fine and good for Republicans to make all of these inroads with communities that 20 years ago they could have never dreamed of making the kind of headway they made with Donald Trump in 2024. If we don't have free and fair elections, if we don't have an above-board electoral process, does it really matter? And you can't dismiss Mark Mitchell as a kook. I mean, you can try, I guess, but he is one of, if not the most accurate pollster in the entire country. So this is someone watching the numbers. The fact that he has concerns should give you concerns. And I continue to have concerns. And the point that he raised that should provide a little nightmare fuel for the fire is that so many states around the nation moved dramatically in the Republican direction this cycle. I'll give you an example. New Jersey swung 10 points to Donald Trump versus 2020. That is massive.
It's a bunch of malarkey.
All the battleground states just kind of inched. Just a couple points, few points in the Trumpian direction. I mean, can you chalk some of that up to ad dollars and on the ground organizing? I guess maybe. So are you calling BS on that?
No.
Okay.
Rashida Tlaib is, though.
Rashida Tlaib?
Actually, there has been, it's been funny. Obviously, I'm on TikTok, right? We know this, correct?
You are a TikToker.
Yes. There were a lot of people on TikTok not accepting the results and saying that we should do a recount.
Yes.
And granted, I think just...
How many of them were Bob Casey?
I don't know. But, I mean, that too. Well, Pennsylvania goes into an automatic recount if it's less than 0.5. So that one I understand.
But what they normally don't do is count illegal ballots like they tried to do.
Well, that was shot down. So
Yeah.
good on the Supreme Court for doing that. PA Supreme Court. But
And good on Josh Shapiro for when it became clear that they weren't going to get away with it to then come out and condemn it. Very brave of him. Very courageous.
Surprised he did.
It's like endorsing somebody for office after they've already won.
Also, there's
real
been,
profile and courage, the governor of Pennsylvania.
I don't know where people are getting the information from, but people are saying all over TikTok that Trump has now lost the popular vote. And it still looks like he has 76 and she has 74.
No, that's not true. See, the latest talking point that they're using to try to make themselves feel a little better, I'm referring to the left, is that Donald Trump may not get 50% of the national vote now. He's going to win the popular vote.
Well, he currently has 50.
Right, but what they're saying is that when they get finished counting ballots in California that they're probably currently manufacturing, that when all is said and done, he may not be at 50%. So while he may have a plurality of the popular vote, he hasn't won an outright majority of the popular vote. Which, I mean, who cares? He's the second Republican president this century to win the popular vote. The only other time it's happened was George Bush 20 years ago in 2004. Massive victory by millions of votes over Kamala Harris. And can I tell you another president who won 2 terms who did not win a majority of the popular vote either time?
Can I guess?
You can.
Grover Cleveland.
No, incorrect.
I thought it was
back on the naughty stool, Daniel.
Bill Clinton.
Slick Willie.
That was a guess.
Slick Willie did not win.
I did not win the popular vote.
He won the popular vote. He did not win a majority of the popular vote, and that's partially because of Ross Perot.
And I also won the good The good in the Oval Office.
The good? Is that what they're calling it these days? The good?
I couldn't think of a better word that's FCC approved, so I just had to say the good.
The good. That's what we're reduced to now.
Yeah, may as well. California's about 98% reporting, so it's crazy that we're almost a month after the election and they're still counting.
It's third world nonsense.
Donald Trump's losing by 4 million.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, speaking of Bill Clinton, Bill Clinton, who sounds like he is 600 years old at this point. All of his years of chasing skirt and living hard have finally caught up to this guy. I mean, we know he became a vegan a few years ago.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he doesn't eat meat anymore.
Yeah, good for him.
But not because of, the fact that he cares about little critters or anything like that.
We know Monica Lewinsky does, but
it's because he's trying to stay alive. Well,
that's the point.
Monica made a big deal of voting for Kamala Harris. Talk about someone.
Wow. Who didn't know that one?
Talk about someone who is still loyal to the people that abused her, right? Used and abused by the Democrat Party, and she's still lining up behind them. It makes no sense. But Bill Clinton, who sounds like he's about 700 years old now, has weighed in on why he thinks Democrats did poorly in 2024. Now, of course, he's shopping a book. He's got plenty of money. He doesn't need it, but he's shopping a book. So he joined a podcast, and, well, you'll remember his advisor, James Carville, famously said it's the economy, stupid. Surprise, surprise, Bill Clinton believes that Democrats' messaging on the economy played a role in the disaster they experienced earlier this month. I think we got the cut queued up.
Yes.
Roll it.
I would say two things. I'd say we can't keep asserting that things are great in the economy. In some senses, they are great. But first of all, we're saddled with some cost of living challenges, which are not unique to the United States. But it's pretty hard if you're out there in the middle of the country and you're working hard and you've got 2 or 3 kids and you have to watch every penny you make. And secondly, the economic benefits of the current recovery have been widely shared where it has stuck, but it takes a while for people everywhere in the country to feel the benefits. People are not economic engines alone. There's a lot of identity conflicts racing through our society now and through our world. And these culture wars topics still have enormous salience. And we Democrats have to learn to talk to people.
How bad is it? Let's back up here for a second. How bad is it that Democrats have to tell other Democrats that, hey, maybe part of our problem in politics is not talking to people?
I should also say, if you want more information on his book, #1 new release on Amazon, 5-star rating because it had 4 reviews, $15.99 on the Kindle, 99 cents with an audiobook, $26.60 hardcover, or a whopping $40 paperback.
$40 for the paperback?
Yes.
Does it come with a little, like...
It comes with Bill Clinton himself.
I was going to say it comes a little piece of the blue dress.
There's also no...
a cigar.
There's
one free cigar with every book.
That there's no actual reviews. It's just people have given it 5 stars.
So that's about right. So whoever the publishing company is on there giving it 5 stars.
Enough.
Yeah. So
pick yours up today.
Great gift for the holiday season. Look, what he just said, fundamentally correct, right? But then you have to remember your context. This is Bill Clinton, the guy who signed NAFTA, right? I mean, Bill Clinton began, arguably, the betrayal of the working class on behalf of the Democrat Party that has now culminated in the absolute electoral disaster which unfolded on the first Tuesday in November for the Democrat Party. So it's kind of interesting to hear him say this. It's not anything inconsistent with what he said in the days and months leading into the election when he's coherent. He's not as though he's quite as sharp as he used to be, and he's an objectively intelligent man. But back to my point, I mean, how sad is it that the Democrat problem is that they now have to relearn social skills? They've become the party of Karen, of relatively affluent white women in the suburbs. I'm done saying educated. Rich Barris says it all the time in his own program. I think we're going to start saying credentialed, because you have some letters at the end of your name and you're listening to somebody that's a JD right now. I'm an attorney, right? I'm a lawyer, got a law degree. Sometimes the more education you have, the more ignorant you are. But they've become the party of a very narrow coalition. And I said, if I can give myself a hearty little pat on the back here for a second, heading into this election, one of the things that 2024 might be is the year of the man. We're constantly hearing about the year of the woman, right? This was the year of the man. Working men went to the polls. They showed up after work, and they bested Karen, at least in this cycle. What can Democrats do now to once again gain credibility with working America? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not here to tell you the Democrat Party is dead and buried and done forever. That's always a mistake. Things change. They will be back in some form or fashion sooner rather than later. But they've got real problems, and it does them no good to understate them, because they're pretty severe. 855-839-1210. That's our number over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Quick commercial timeout. Back with more Matt Rooney Show in a moment.
Hey, it's Rich Zeol. You know, I'm traveling a lot these days, right? New York and D.C., and I'm all over the place. And whenever I'm on Wi-Fi, I always use my DuckDuckGo VPN. Even when I'm home, I use the VPN because I know my data is encrypted. I do not want my internet provider knowing where I am on the internet. I don't want somebody stealing my data at a coffee shop or on the train or when I'm using a public Wi-Fi. That's why the DuckDuckGo VPN is the absolute best in the business. Listen, you hear about VPNs all the time. This one's from DuckDuckGo, the leader in online privacy protection and a local company. It's been doing this for years, helping millions of people. But that's not all you get with Privacy Pro. You also get personal information removal to make sure all your personal data is gone, and identity theft restoration. All three of those services to arm you up and protect you online for only $10 a month. And if you sign up today at duckduckgo.com/1210, you get a 7-day free trial. So do it today. duckduckgo.com/1210.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/Shell Recharge.
Hey, Ambler. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Follow us anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
This is very Trans-Siberian Orchestra-ish.
It's not at all.
I know it's not, but it kind of has that sound. At least the intro. And I say that not only because that's how it sounds, but somebody took a trip to a Christmas concert before Thanksgiving.
Wasn't my decision.
Very out of character for you.
Yeah, I know.
You get annoyed in mid-December when I want Christmas music.
Yeah. Actually,
you went.
I will say it was not as Christmassy as previous years.
It's a rock concert.
It's split into 2 acts. So the first act is all Christmas. It's like Christmas Eve, their story. And the second act is just like rock, symphonic metal.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a tremendous show.
Yeah.
The pyrotechnics, the performance value.
Yeah.
The production value. It's really, I highly recommend checking out Trans-Siberian Orchestra if you've never seen it. You saw them not in Philly.
Hershey.
It was Hershey, okay. I bet they're coming to Philadelphia at some point this season.
They are. The 22nd, they're coming to the Wells Fargo.
I went maybe about 10 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It's not going to happen this year. It's not in the cards. Too much going on, but got to make it back at some point. Welcome back to the Matt Rooney Show here on 1210 WPHT, plugging through our numero dos. The holiday season is upon us. Thanksgiving is coming up this week. At some point, I got to do my annual Pilgrim story during tonight's program. Maybe I'll get to that this
Why
hour.
can't we just do it next week?
Why can't we just do it next week?
Yeah.
Because then Thanksgiving is over.
We can't. We don't have time for your Pilgrim story. I'm sorry.
Nope,
we don't have time. We're very, very busy. We don't have time. We're good.
You are
Don't
such
have
a
time.
fussy little man.
Don't have time.
You are such a fussy little man.
Don't have time. I'll only allow it if you dress up as a pilgrim.
I would love that. Come with a little, like, I don't know if it was considered a stove top hat at
Also,
that point.
I just want to put it out there. Mango Mush said, Rooney Show has the best music on 1210, in my opinion. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Everyone else on the station hates my music taste. Matt has no choice in what music I play. It's the music that I like, and so be it. So, Mango Mush, you're the number one in my book, and you'll always have that top spot. Continue.
The music is different.
It is.
And I indulge it.
Yes.
I'm probably part of the reason that Donald Trump did so well in this part of the world with Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have you as a producer, and I let you play the music you want to play. You're welcome, Mr. President.
Granted, probably a lot of the people don't know the music that I play.
I have no idea what most of it is.
But it's fine. If you want to play this, I'll give it to you. But it's fine. We don't need it.
We should do that sometimes, though.
I used to when I was with Zeoli in the morning.
Yeah.
And I did it earlier with you, but I just stopped tracking it. Just because I play whatever. So
maybe just a couple. Doesn't have to be a complete playlist. But if people like it, let's give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Unlike the Democrat Party, we are responsive to the people in our audience. That's why we're doing better than they are right now. Right?
I should also.
Am I right?
Well, 2 things. That last song was The Stage by Avenged Sevenfold. Great
Okay.
band. Saw them twice. All-time favorite. 2, Bella wants a public apology because she's offended she's not in my top spot. I'm sorry, you'll always be my top spot. Mango Mush, you'll always be my top spot for other reasons. So,
Well, things are getting saucy here on the program.
Yeah.
Little love triangle
People
between
want-
you and Bella and Mango Mush.
People want the top spot. I'm a hot commodity. What can I say?
I guess.
Yeah.
You know, he's got this whole like emaciated young Orlando Bloom with glasses kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an accurate way to describe you, right?
Sure.
I think so. I also want to clarify something since we're talking about the YouTube chat, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. By the way, Suze loves Jeffy. One of our regulars says, no, Matt, not good on Shapiro. Want to be clear, because sometimes on radio, it doesn't always come through. I was being very sarcastic. I was pointing out that Josh Shapiro only sided against counting illegal votes when it was clear that it wasn't going to fly, which is why I was mocking him as being a profile in courage. The guy's a cad. I'm not in any way suggesting that Josh Shapiro deserves.
He's a Chad.
You think so?
Yeah, Josh Shapiro's such a Chad.
Now, what is that?
Like a frat guy who just like goes out and thinks he's like tough ass.
How's that different from a bro?
He's a Chad. They're the same thing.
Same thing?
Chad and bro are like the same thing, just different names.
Okay.
Like he's such a Chad. You know what I mean?
I could learn so much.
Because a lot of the bros, it's named Chad. You know?
Okay.
So.
All right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you keep it up, I'm going to do my Pilgrim story too, by the way.
You could totally do it. I'm just, Yeah,
I'm going to do it before the hour's done.
How long's the story?
It's going to take 2 seconds. I do it every year.
2 seconds. Better take 2 seconds.
It's going to take 2 seconds.
Better.
It's not a big deal. But we got something else we got to talk about first.
Oh, boy.
Because something that... No, this is on topic. Because Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen talked about it in the first hour.
Bella said you're a Chad, by the way.
That's not true. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd.
Matthew.
I don't think you could be a Chad and a nerd.
Matthew. You could be a music Chad, which is a nerd.
What was that breathy female British? Your impressions are all over the board tonight, my man.
It's Matthew.
My man. In case you missed it, Donald Trump is wildly popular now. I'm exaggerating slightly, but seriously, he's more popular than he's ever been, and his transition, despite what you may hear from a couple of the legacy media outlets, is going swimmingly, at least in the court of public opinion. And if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe Face the Nation. This is from earlier today, cut number 1. Hearing is believing.
Our polling also finds many of the president-elect's well-known designees have more support than opposition, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and Pete Hegseth.
That's right. That's right. And just so you can know the numbers for yourself, because there's something else here. CBS asked, is RFK Jr. a good choice, not a good choice, haven't heard enough. 47% good choice. Only 34% say not a good choice. Hegseth, who they're currently dragging through the mud with unsubstantiated allegations, still above water. A third say good choice, only 28% say not a good choice, and Gabbard posts similar numbers. Mark Mitchell said that the media may have been broken by this cycle. I guess it depends on how you look at it. I don't think we should delude ourselves into thinking that the legacy media is now over, because Democrats still control much of the media infrastructure in this country. But you do get the sense that their monopoly, which was already fraying because of conservative media stations like this one, Elon Musk buying X, right?
Can I say something about his picks real quick?
About what?
Trump's cabinet picks?
Oh, yeah. When you said pics, I thought you meant like pictures. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I don't know. Maybe there's like new pictures out I haven't seen.
His draft picks for the Super Bowl.
Yes, draft picks for the Super Bowl.
In terms of his picks, I think they're all fine. The only one that I really wasn't too keen on was Matt Gaetz.
Well, lucky for you, that's no longer an issue.
That's not a thing anymore. So all of them I think will do fine. But I also see a lot of all over social media. They're like, well, they're all white, and they're like, oh, well, where's the the DEI in this, and where's all this kind of stuff. So that's the thing.
Well, they forget that Trump doesn't really care.
Yeah.
He believes in the meritocracy. He wants the person that he believes is going to be best for the job, and that's who he nominates. And I mean, look, case in point, we have the first female chief of staff of the White House, which is kind of incredible. We've gone this long without having one.
And first female attorney general.
First female attorney general, right? I mean, so the idea that it's just going to be nothing but a bunch of old white dudes, not the case at all. But this is what breaks the left's brain, that not only does Donald Trump and the Republicans that surround him, not only do they not support that virtue signaling nonsense, but the American people, including a lot of folks that are not white males, also prefer to live in a meritocracy. How well has the Biden administration's virtue signaling administration, right? How well have those picks panned out for the American people? We've got a gay transportation secretary. We have a black press secretary. We have a number of trans individuals at all levels of the federal bureaucracy.
Trump also has a black, he has the housing, Scott Turner.
Scott Turner, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. I mean, to say it's just a bunch of white guys is just not accurate.
And FDA and Doge and all that kind of stuff. So
right, but right. Vivek, your boy.
I love that man.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually you haven't resigned to go work for Doge.
If he said, "Hey, we'll give you so and so to,"
you be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the point is, I hope the obvious one, which is that when you select people for positions simply because of their external characteristics, the superficialities like skin color or gender or sexual preference, which is how things have run in the executive branch over the course of the past 4 years, it doesn't end well. It doesn't end well because those are not the things, really shouldn't be the things that are important about somebody, particularly when we're considering them for high office. So the American people so far, all available data, are supportive of Donald Trump's approach. And look, here's another clip if you want a little bit more validation. This is also from Face the Nation. Important for people to appoint. This is what they asked them. They said, what's important for you in a Trump appointee? You may be surprised by the response.
Given that, for example, the Pentagon pick hasn't ever managed a large corporation or held a high rank in the military, do you think he can run the Pentagon?
Yes, and I think the vast majority of people, if you poll them, will say that they don't think people should be picked based on religion or gender or sexuality. Mm-hmm. They want people to be picked on merit. And one of Pete Hegseth's criticisms of our Pentagon is that we've gone away from merit and gone more towards racial characteristics. And so I think that the people are and would be overwhelmingly in favor of someone who's going to base hiring on merit, not on racial characteristics.
I actually picked the wrong clip there. I thought it was a different one, but it's always important to hear from Rand Paul.
There was only 2 Face the Nation clips.
Yeah, no, I think I put the wrong one in there. I'm taking the blame for that one.
Yeah, I'll also.
But it was still on point.
I'll also correct myself. Apparently, there was another. Janet Reno was the first woman Attorney General.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of I have to behave here. I was going to say she was kind of a woman, Janet Reno. Will Ferrell used to play her on Saturday Night Live. That was before your time.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, she was more masculine than I am. Definitely more masculine than you.
Okay, well, it still counts. She was the Attorney General.
Well, again, the point is that Donald Trump goes where the talent leads him. That's what a good executive does, and it gives us plenty of reason to be optimistic for the coming administration, which will be here mercifully in just a couple short months. It's forming as we speak. 855-839-1210, the number here on the Matt Rooney Show. Let's take a time out to fill our coffee mugs, get a little caffeinated, and we'll be back with more of our program in just a few. Don't move a muscle.
Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Either of you guys have your Christmas decorations up yet?
No. You?
No. It was 65 degrees yesterday.
We didn't even have fall, and we're just jumping into Christmas. I didn't even get my free turkey yet.
You need to at least wait until Thanksgiving week. Can we all just agree on that?
1,000%.
Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving till January 1st. Then we're done. Take all your freaking decorations down.
Yeah, I typically take them down right after my birthday, January 3rd. What's the chat saying now?
Nothing. I'm just...
Is Justin in there crying?
No.
Make sure you check in this week, Justin. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Is your kitchen or bathroom in need of a makeover?
It's time to transform your home into a personal oasis with Emmons Remodeling.
Our expert team specializes in kitchen and bathroom renovations, creating beautiful, functional spaces you and your family will love. We handle everything from design to installation.
So call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Right now, someone you know is hungry. The Catholic Charities Appeal needs your help to provide hope to those in need. 1 in 5 people benefits from the money we raise. I'm Ernie Russum, board president of the Appeal. Please donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. apply. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
This is what I wanted to share before, but I picked the wrong clip. Even I am human. I know that dismays some of you to hear that, but no one's perfect, not even yours truly. CBS News poll, Trump's handling of presidential transition, 59% approve, 41% disapprove. Now, we haven't gotten to the confirmation hearings yet. There is a little bit of a honeymoon period underway at the moment, but this is a deeper, truer honeymoon than President Trump enjoyed in 2016. So just worth noting as we begin another segment of the Matt Rooney Show. I'm gonna tell my pilgrim story, Daniel. And it's quick and it's painless, but you need a little bit of book learning.
Hold on, I need you to just talk amongst yourself real quick. Don't start the story yet, because I got to cue something up.
You got to cue something up?
Yeah.
To degrade me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what am I supposed to do? Just make some whale noises while you get this going?
Sure.
All right. Well, so this is what I'll say about it as we cue this up. Rush Limbaugh, the late great Al Rushbo, used to talk about how the Pilgrims were rescued by capitalism every year in his final program before Thanksgiving. So it is a tradition that I have shamelessly and proudly co-opted now that Rush is no longer with us, because I think it's important, because we all know that in today's schools, kids don't get the essential American history that they need. And if you don't gain an understanding earlier in life about not only why our country's great, but also why our country is exceptional, and that's the key. We are an exceptional country. Our story of coming into being, it's unlike anything anywhere in the history of the world.
All right, we're good.
Then, are we surprised that you grow up and become an adult that votes the wrong way? Well, you never received the proper foundation. Okay, we're ready for your...
Just wait. It gets a little, I need to find the right music.
This does sound like I'm voyaging to a new world.
Go ahead.
This is so stupid. Okay, fine. You're making this so much worse than it needs to be. All right, fine. Let's do it. You ready? Okay.
It's your story.
The Pilgrims, Daniel, were idealists. They weren't seeking freedom and religious liberty in the same sense that modern Americans understand those concepts. What they wanted to do is they wanted to build a religious community in the New World which could serve as a basis for a new lease on life for them, because they were being oppressed in their native land. So they crossed an ocean, they endured remarkable hardship, and they arrived here on these glorious shores of what would eventually be the United States. But they didn't find Eden. They didn't find paradise. It was hard. They got hit by the reality stick, extra hard, when they arrived here. And they were, in fact, starving not long after arriving at what would be the future Plymouth site in late 1620. Disease ravaged the shrinking settlement. Exacerbating the crisis was the general prohibition, and this is key, on private farming land ownership. Food was collectively grown, collectively harvested, and collectively distributed among the colonists. Not based on merit, it was done equally. Friendly relations with the local Indian tribe. Obviously, that became an important part of the Pilgrim story later. But simply trading with the folks that were already here wasn't enough to rescue them from what was bad policy. They were dying. How did they ultimately survive? Well, first you have to understand what they were doing wrong. Governor William Bradford recorded how, at the time, in his estimation, this community, so far as it was found to breed much confusion and discontent and retard much employment that would have been to their benefit and comfort. Something needed to change, because what William Bradford is essentially telling you in 17th century speech is they were enabling people to be lazy and unproductive. In 1623, the leaders reversed course from what was a socialist experiment by implementing a profound legal, economic, and social reform, all rolled into one. They introduced private plots that were assigned, and if the able-bodied colonists did the work, they got fed. If they didn't work, they didn't eat. Lo and behold, it worked. Hunger is a heck of a motivator, and the rest is history. And here's a relevant passage from page 165 of Mayflower's Story of Courage, Community and War. Hat tip to the great Nathaniel Philbrick that wrote it. The fall of 1623 marked the end of Plymouth's debilitating food shortages. For the last two planting seasons, the Pilgrims had grown crops communally, the approach first used at Jamestown and other English settlements, but as the disastrous harvests of the previous fall had shown, something drastic needed to be done to increase the annual yield. So in April, Bradford had decided that each household should be assigned its own plot to cultivate, with the understanding that each family kept whatever it grew. The change in attitude was stunning. Families were now willing to work much harder than they had ever worked before. In previous years, the men had tended the fields while the women tended the children at home. The women now willingly went into the field, Bradford wrote, and took their little ones with them to set corn. The Pilgrims had stumbled on the power of capitalism. Although the fortunes of the colony still teetered precariously in the years ahead, it was never going to be easy. The inhabitants never starved again. Now, that is the
Past
true
2 seconds.
story. Yes, Daniel, I know it's more than 2 seconds. You know I know that it's more than 2 seconds?
Because my music ran out.
Because your music ran out. You didn't have enough runway with your dramatic music. Actually, it wasn't bad music.
It's from a game that I play.
I was thinking that, too, that it sounded like video game music.
Game's called Town of Salem.
You're such a loser.
It's a great game.
See, this is why you look the way you do. You look like the Plymouth colonists before they figured out how to feed themselves.
Same with Catan. I play Catan all the time.
You play Settlers of Catan?
I love that game.
I actually would play that.
It's a great game.
Because I am a nerd. But no, capitalism is what saved the Pilgrims. Now, if you learn about the first Thanksgiving, and many of your school children, right, are going to do that this week before school lets out for the holiday, you would be led to believe that the Pilgrims landed in the New World and the noble savages came and gave them corn and pheasant and turkeys and all this other nice stuff. And through the benevolence of these noble people, they somehow survived. It's just not true. It's just not true. That's the Disney Pocahontas version of Thanksgiving. In reality, one of the things that these settlers discovered in the New World was not only freedom, but a better way to secure their freedom, a superior economic system. And it's one of the reasons why we continue to be able to feed ourselves today. And the only time we ever really run into trouble is when we stray from the lessons that the earliest Americans learned at that first Thanksgiving. So carry that with you into the holiday this year, folks. We have plenty to be grateful for. Foremost among the things we should be grateful for is the fact that we are Americans and we're heirs of this fantastic legacy and this fantastic heritage.
American? I thought you were a lesbian.
A lesbian? Well, some Americans are lesbians.
That's a vine you don't understand.
I don't understand that.
Sorry.
There's very little about you that I do understand.
Sorry, you wouldn't.
And now you've ruined.
That's Gen Z coming out.
It's Gen Z coming out, and you've officially ruined my Thanksgiving story.
I'm sorry.
And you probably learned nothing.
I'm sorry.
We're not going to continue to live communally around here. You're going to have to grow your own maize if you want to eat.
Are you calling for a divorce? I know the perfect attorney.
I just think we need a separation.
How does that work?
We need some time apart.
If for some odd reason a divorce attorney wants a divorce, can they do it themselves or do they have to go through someone?
Anyone can be their own attorney. You can represent yourself, but there's a saying that someone that represents themselves has a fool for an attorney.
Yeah, okay.
When you think about how emotional it is.
Yeah.
That gets in the way of your dispassionate understanding of the circumstances. And
Got it.
The application of the law to the facts.
Cool.
Well, don't ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer.
It was a simple yes or no.
But
you know what? Let me say this. It was a simple yes or no, but you explained it, and I am now more knowledgeable.
Well, I'm glad.
Now that I could represent myself.
I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Not the countless thousands of people that listen to the program every night. I'm here for you, Daniel, your education.
I don't know. They're probably glad that I wasn't here the past year. They're like, oh, thank God that kid's gone.
No, that's not true. I think I speak for the entire Matt Rooney Show audience that everyone's glad you're here, but with one asterisk.
Without Twit Talk?
Without Twit Talk.
Yeah.
But can I tell you what we are glad that's back?
Twit Talk?
No. Bad Daniel. You're not paying attention.
Thanksgiving stories?
Naughty Daniel. No, not Thanksgiving stories. The fact of the week.
That's...
Which is at least 65% correct.
No, we're
according
starting
to an independent audit.
Starting a new slate, as I said, week 1. So currently we have a 100% rate.
Not shabby.
Yeah. Thanksgiving
100% might be pushing.
Thanksgiving fact. Turkey wasn't on the menu at the first Thanksgiving. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what was?
Probably corn and nuts and berries.
Close. Venison, duck, goose, oysters, lobster, eel, and fish were likely served alongside pumpkins and cranberries, but not pumpkin pie or cranberry sauce.
Yeah, pumpkin pie didn't come about until later.
Don't like pumpkin pie, and that's your fact of the week.
One of the many things about you that's just wrong. Pumpkin pie is delicious.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
It's my favorite. Pumpkin pie with Cool Whip. I just spoke to my mom today. She's bringing a pumpkin pie to Thanksgiving. She says it's as large as a pizza. I'm going to put Cool Whip on top of it, and I'm going to eat it.
I have eaten a bowl of Cool Whip. I will do it again. Cool Whip is delightful.
Cool Whip is excellent.
And I will eat it out of the container if I have to.
You could put Cool Whip on a shoe, and I would eat it.
Better than whipped cream, 100%.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's cool and it's whipped.
I don't know. All because
if I had to guess.
I like the little dollop. You know what I mean? The little dollop.
Yeah, a little dollop on there.
Yeah, I'll probably take it off Bella's or something. So,
yeah.
You know.
And by the way, if you're over on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@1210WPHD, we don't usually do the question of the day kind of thing on this program, but I would take your submission for best pie. Because let's face it, that's what we're all going to be thinking about over the course of the next few days. Imagining the glories of that feast that's coming for all of us. And, pie is something that people have extremely strong opinions about. Almost as strong as politics. Which pies you like, which pies you don't. Dan doesn't like pumpkin. I'm obsessed with pumpkin.
Or apple.
You don't like apple pie?
I don't. I do not like pumpkin or apple pie.
So you don't like the most classic Thanksgiving pie,
Correct.
And you don't like the most American of all pies, which is apple. I think most people would agree with that.
Correct. I don't do the typical Thanksgiving desserts.
So what do you like to put a dollop on?
Ice cream.
So you just have ice cream and you put Cool Whip on top of the ice cream?
Sometimes.
We know you're not lactose intolerant.
Sometimes there's a nice chocolate cake.
You like chocolate cake?
I love chocolate cake.
I mean, I got nothing against chocolate cake, but pie
Key lime. If we're talking about pie, key lime pie is delightful.
Key lime pie is good.
Love key lime.
I think we're having one at Thanksgiving, actually.
Yeah, I can't really say the word, but I am a.
We're having an apple pie, a key lime pie, and a pumpkin pie.
Someone said lemon meringue.
Lemon meringue.
I can't say the word on air, but I am a W word for key lime pie. Oh my god, I will eat it up.
Yeah?
I love key lime
See, the
pie.
problem with key lime pie is it's tough to find a good one.
It is.
I mean, I agree. When you find a fresh, well-prepared, true to the source key lime pie, that's okay. All right. You don't own that equipment there.
Delightful.
Let's make sure this remains a safe workplace, Daniel.
Peach pie. Someone said peach pie.
Peach pie?
Someone said peach pie.
I would put peach in the category of things that I prefer as a cobbler.
What's the difference between cobbler and a pie?
Well, I think it's the composition of the pie. So a cobbler is usually, instead of having a flat crust on top, you've got kind of like a baked brown sugar on top. Crumbs. It's more crummy. That makes sense. And usually it's in a square dish instead of a round dish.
Cobbler is sometimes described as a kind of fruit pie, but strictly speaking, the two are different. Pies are made from pastry rather than a biscuit batter. They are fully encased with a crust at the top and bottom, while cobblers typically only have a topping.
Right. So you put it in like a square pan.
Yeah.
And then you put the crusties on top.
Chocolate mousse pie. I am a huge fan of that.
What about blueberry? Can I introduce you?
No.
You don't like blueberry pie?
My mother also says I will eat a mean Boston cream donut. That is true.
Dan's mom is under
Big
the chat.
fiend for a Boston cream donut.
I see. I hate Boston cream.
I don't like hot fruit.
That gross, like yellowish Boston cream that comes in
We're
the donut.
not-
It's like phlegm or snot or
It's
something.
pudding. We're not doing this anymore.
It's gross.
Can we stop fighting, please?
We're not fighting.
We're fighting.
This isn't a fight.
This is you're defaming Boston cream donuts, and I will not stand for it. Yeah, I don't like hot fruit. It's like apple pie, blueberry pie. I don't like it.
Dan doesn't like hot fruit.
I don't. I'll eat them cold, but I won't eat them in a pie.
You tee up so many jokes that I have to stop myself.
I will.
They play out in my head, and then I immediately have to say, no, bad Matt, don't go there.
I'll drink them in a smoothie.
Don't go there.
I'll drink them in a smoothie, but I won't do anything else.
Okay. All right. No hot fruit for you.
Nope.
Okay. Well, see, this is why you're not invited to my Thanksgiving dinner, because there's nothing that I'd serve that you probably would like.
Alcohol.
We don't have high noons.
I will drink other than high noon. I'll drink something.
Spike Shirley Temple or something like that.
Dirty Shirley's.
Dirty Shirley's.
Those are good. Those are delightful.
Look, you and Bella and your mom are more than welcome to come for dessert, and I will give you a Dirty Shirley.
Let's make a
margarita. And if you're not going to make what I just said a clip, you're not doing your job.
Let's.
Me offered to give you a Dirty Shirley. There, I just did it again. I'm doing your job for you.
I'll take a margarita too. Those are good.
A margarita at Thanksgiving? What is the matter?
Margarita anytime.
What is the matter with you? You're dirty fruit. 855.
Yeah, stop it, you little dirty little fruit. Little dirty little apple, you.
I just tried to use one of my hotkeys and they're not working.
Try it again.
I think I'll do a wraparound.
It doesn't work when I have to say it and we have to talk about it.
Daddy owes you.
Daddy does owe you. He owes you some hot fruit.
Come here, you little sexy little fruit.
This show, if I may say so, is going excellently. This is an excellent program. We have American history. We have pie. Should have brought in a pie.
Hey,
why didn't I think about that?
You gauge the viewers by the pie talk.
Yeah, well, it's where our mind's at. My mind is obsessing over Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm cooking this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. We got everybody's
Did you
bringing
get a free
something.
turkey?
No, I go the opposite direction. I go to my butcher, Arnie the butcher in Cherry Hill. Shout out. And I get a turkey from him, and it's pretty much pre-prepared. And by pre-prepared, I don't mean pre-cooked.
Do you deep fry it?
No, I don't do the deep frying. Deep fried turkey is delicious, but it is very involved, and it's kind of dangerous. And I'm not saying the danger element is a reason not to do it, but we've got a lot of young kids in my family, so it's not something you want to do.
You don't want them running around hot oil?
Yeah, it's something about them being around a giant vat of hot oil. It's just not great. But it's delicious if you've never had it. It's great. It's worth it. I think it's a little overrated in the sense that I've had it done a few different times, different people. It's not as juicy as advertised, but it does have good flavor.
I mean, or you could get the Popeyes prepared turkey, which is a Cajun turkey that's fully cooked. You just got to heat it up.
No, that sounds good.
People have said good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to prepare my own now. Popeyes is delicious. Popeyes Cajun rice. Ever had their Cajun rice?
No, I don't really eat Popeyes so much.
You should. You want to get out of here? Just blow off the final hour and go get Popeyes.
You asking me on a date right now? Because
it's not a date, Dan. I just want to eat Popeyes chicken.
Just two guys.
Just two guys enjoying chicken,
hanging out, eating some chicken,
just being hot fruits.
See, when you put it like that, it's a little weird.
Let's get out of here.
It's a little weird.
Let's get out of here. 855-839-1210 here on the post-election, pre-holiday season edition of the Matt Rooney Show _spectacular on 1210 WPHT. Back for our final hour, and Dawn Fantasia, the Bird Feeder Band, coming to New Jersey on the other end of the break.
Yo, 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 Dad is in the house. What do you call the NordVPN Black Friday deal, huh? The Block Friday deal. Because you block online threats. Black Friday, Block Friday, get it? It's hilarious. Get the NordVPN Black Friday deal and block online threats now. NordVPN is rated as outstanding on PC Mag. Just visit NordVPN.com and discover the benefits of this all-around cybersecurity tool. It will encrypt your online traffic. NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool will defend you against web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. So improve your digital privacy and protection with one simple click. Get the special Black Friday deal at NordVPN.com and enjoy safer internet daily. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
At the Acura Season of Performance event, every car is ready to match the energy of winter. Own the mountain roads with available super handling all-wheel drive in the TLX, RDX, and MDX. And power through the storm with the all-electric CDX's flexible charging packages. Own the energy of the season at the Acura Season of Performance event going on now. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Visit Piazza Acura in Ardmore, Reading, or Westchester today.
Hi, everyone. This is Dom Giordano here with my friend and dentist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group. Dr. Bentz, we've talked about your cutting-edge, state-of-the-art care. Why is that so vital?
It sure helps me diagnose and elevate the level of care I can offer if I'm using the latest technology. I use it on a normal, everyday basis, and I can see things that is just missed. It's not misdiagnosed, but you can't see something that your equipment won't allow you to. So I feel that if I can't utilize what's out there, and it takes a lot to be trained on it, feel comfortable, that can work for everyone. Not just these advanced cases, but it gives you a very consistent, efficient, and predictable result.
Dr. Bentz and the team at Bentz Dental Group provide solutions for the most complex dental cases. Call Dr. Bentz today at 610-272-6949 or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. Bentz Dental Group, say it with a smile.
WPHT, WPHT-HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Matt Rooney. On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
They finally refilled the Tasty Cake wall. That's good news, Dan.
Really? That's the only thing you care about?
Well, they've got my glazed chocolate dip and sticks.
We have a show going on, and you're over here walking to the Tasty Cake wall.
I wanted Tasty Cakes.
Maybe I wanted a dip and stick.
You never asked.
I didn't know you were going to the Tasty Cake wall.
You know that sometime between the 8 and 9 o'clock hour on the Matt Rooney Show, I walk over to the Tasty Cake wall.
This was not between the 8 and 9. This was after 9. It was probably like 8:59.
Don't get technical.
Okay, I'll get one after.
Do you want me to leave dead air and I'll walk over there and get you one right now? Everyone will understand.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You sure?
It's fine.
Okay. All right. We'll move on with the program then. Welcome back, friends, for our numero trace of trace for our bilingual listeners of the Matt Rooney Show. Our post-election, pre-holiday, chocolate dip and stick,
2-week post-election.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2-week post-election.
Yeah, 2-week post-election. Because now things have really percolated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've been having too much fun over the course of the past 2 weeks, though. Soaking in everything that is transpiring on a daily basis. The liberal tears are flowing.
Soaking in everything and also letting everything out.
Well, yes, I had the stomach flu last week. If you missed the first hour, you missed that graphic description of what I went through.
It's fine. We don't
sure?
need it again. I'm positive.
I nearly met my maker. It was horrendous.
So you might throw up your dipping sticks.
No way. No way would I ever give these up. No neurovirus that escaped from a Chinese lab could ever take them from me.
I will say the dipping sticks and a honey bun, superior.
Oh, honey bun is pretty good.
And also a Tasty Cake Junior. I will stand by that. All three of those, delightful.
Glorious. Have you noticed something on the subject of my illness? Don't you think that there's just more stuff going around than there used to be? I'm serious.
In terms of what?
Just like case in point. It was not unusual to have a flu season, right? We have one every year, and somebody would get sick, and you would have a virus once a season, and maybe your kid's class had a bug run through the classroom at some point in October. Now it seems like kids are constantly sick
with COVID.
Not with COVID, just with other stuff. And I can't help but wonder if it doesn't have something to do with the COVID experience, that they screwed up our immune systems by keeping us all home for a year and masking us, or at least attempting to mask us. Or maybe the open borders too, right? I mean, we're being invaded from the South. That's not controversial. The American people
we're all
passed
sick from the
judgment.
migrants coming in.
Well, look, you've seen Godfather, right? Godfather 2. And Vito Corleone comes into the country, and they keep him at Ellis Island in quarantine.
Nope. I've never seen The Godfather.
You were a glazed dip and stick. You really are.
I've never seen it. I don't know what to do.
This is important American cinema that you need to digest at some point in your lifetime, Dan.
Seen The Dark Knight. Does that count?
Yeah, but look, I mean, this is something that, look, this is the National Institution of Health, right? Not that you can trust everything that comes out of Washington, D.C., or these federal institutions, but studies, and they have discussed this, and you can find it on their website, have identified the importance of cross-border movement in the transmission of various diseases. Hepatitis A, tuberculosis, syphilis, right? That tends to be more of a Democrat disease. Mycobacterium infection, a variety of different illnesses. So it's not as if we are wildly speculating without any basis in fact that the fact that we have millions of people streaming across our border on an annual basis with no controls, they're not getting COVID tested. I remember when I traveled during the pandemic overseas, they were sticking one of those sticks up my nose, right, to make sure I didn't have COVID, which for most people is a mild cold, right, if anything. They're not doing that to these folks. I can't help but wonder if the uptick in routine annual viruses and illnesses we're seeing, especially this time of year, has something to do with it. Would not be surprised. Maybe it's something RFK Jr. can look into when he takes over Health and Human Services in just a couple short months. I think he's going to get confirmed. I think all Trump's nominees are going to get through.
Yeah. I would say so.
Yeah. Look, the American people voted for it. I think that's the point that's lost on some people that are complaining. I know Nikki Haley, who I think most people now love to hate, who completely overplayed her hand in the final days of the election. She believed the bogus polls, I guess, and suggested that somehow it was on Donald Trump. The onus was on him to invite her to campaign. Well, that didn't end too well for her because he rightly feels as if he owes her nothing because he doesn't owe her anything. And now she's out of the administration. She was throwing shade at Tulsi Gabbard, right? The American people didn't vote for people like Nikki Haley, the same old types of rear ends occupying the same old chairs. They want radical change. And we gave you some of the polling numbers earlier in the program. They want to shake things up. You don't vote for Donald Trump because you're expecting the status quo. You vote for a guy like Donald Trump because you're expecting him to overturn the table. And you could argue that one of the reasons the first Trump administration wasn't more successful than it ultimately was is because Donald Trump, being an outsider, was inexperienced in government and got taken in by a lot of deep state creatures. Either ones he brought in and didn't realize their loyalties were divided, or certainly a lot of deep staters that were embedded in government he failed to prioritize getting rid of. It seems as if this time he realizes that he can't make that same mistake. That's part of what Doge is all about. And Dan is getting his application ready for Doge as we speak. He wants
Already
to
filled it out.
Yeah, he wants to be Vivek Ramaswamy's personal assistant.
That'd be his coffee boy.
Be his coffee boy. I'm kind of with you. If I didn't have a wife and kids and responsibility, like mortgages and all this stuff, I'd probably go apply to work at Doge. I think it's God's work.
I don't know if I could ever do anything within government. I don't know if I could, and I don't know if I ever would. I think everyone in the government sucks. So,
well, you're correct, obviously, but don't you think it's a little bit different when you're working for Doge and their express mission is to take a sledgehammer to government?
Yes, but I still wouldn't because I still got to deal with people in government.
I mean, Musk got rid of 80% of Twitter.
Yeah, well,
when he took over.
Right.
80%. Now, he's not going to be able to do that. But
you can't get rid of 80% of the government. I mean, you could.
Well, no, but some of these departments you certainly could.
Yeah.
I mean, the perfect example is the Department of Education. We don't need a Department of Education at the national level. We have state departments of education.
Get rid of it, then my student loans go away.
No, if only it was that easy.
That's what everyone is saying. They're like, oh, there's no Department of Education that I owe my loans to. That means I don't have to pay back my loans. And I'm like, well, no, because those loans are probably going to sold off to someone else.
It is interesting if maybe that's the reason why that idea is popular with more people than you would otherwise expect.
I would love that idea.
If they actually do believe that that's how that mechanism would work.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, by the way. No Department of Education, you're still going to have to pay your loans.
Yeah, they'll just get sold off to a private company more than likely.
Well, you owe the money to the federal government.
Right.
The Department of Education is just involved as an administrator of some of these programs.
Well, there's
but
still a Department of Education.
you owe your money to the Treasury.
There's still a Department of Education.
Well, right now there is, yeah. But Trump's talking about getting rid of it.
Right, but then why would you...
Lyndon McMahon is going to lead it.
Right, but then why would you appoint the head of a department that you're going to just nix?
Well, because I guess someone needs to run it for now because it still exists, and then if he's successful in eliminating it, somebody has to oversee its dissolution. Because there are certain functions that are going to have to be taken over by another department.
I guess.
Yeah. But all the Department of Education does at the national level is create new rules and new regulations which make it harder for states to educate their children.
Right, it's not needed. It's not needed.
Yeah, or to the point about student loans, we've talked about this many times on this program. Student loans, how they're currently administered in this country, number one driver of the cost of college, which has created a crisis, a debt crisis, especially for Gen Z and millennials. People with useless degrees that are never going to be able to pay them off with the jobs they were able to get with useless pieces of paper, having gotten a BA in Eastern handpan music and women's studies and whatever else you studied at Penn State or Rowan or wherever else you went, and you were convinced that, yes, somehow this is a smart life choice. We should have never given those kids those loans. Some of them should have studied actually useful majors as defined by economic forces. Some of those people should have gone and started businesses, started small businesses, or maybe they should have gone and gotten a trade. I know some of the most successful people in my own life, they don't have bachelor's degrees. They know how to actually do something.
Oh, well, I have a bachelor's degree, so that doesn't... I was going to say that.
Well, your life is obviously dead-ended because you're hanging out with me. I mean, that goes without saying.
It's just a one-night-a-week thing.
This is just a one-night-a-week thing.
It's just a weekend show.
That is true.
Yeah.
You're a part-timer like I am now.
Yeah. I got a full-time gig.
You do have a good time. You're doing well. You know I'm teasing you. I'm very proud of you. I don't like to say nice things to you.
Associates and bachelors. Associates doesn't really mean anything. But...
Yeah, but see, let's back up for a second. Let's play with this. So you have a bachelor's degree.
Correct.
But you actually studied something which directly relates to a field that you knew you could get a job in and make money.
Correct.
You learned how to do what you're doing here, and you perform similar functions for a private company Monday through Friday.
I use my degree more here than I do Monday through Friday.
Yes, but you would agree with me that those skills are related.
Yes.
Yes. So your plan made economic sense is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So for you, going to college was fine.
Yeah.
But for lots of people, they can't say the same.
I don't think college is for everyone, that's for sure. The people who are unsure about going to college, I wouldn't tell them to go to college if they're unsure. Like I said, it's certainly not for everyone, but like if you're dead set on going to college, great. If you're like, I don't want to go, great. If you're like, I don't really know if I want to go, don't go, because then you're going to waste all this money. You'd be like, I'm going to leave. So then you're not in college, but then you also owe money. So
yeah,
it's just me.
Well, I mean, I can only tell you what I plan to do with my own kids, and my kids are pretty far from college, so we'll see what the world's like by then. But my generation, I'm right on the bubble. I turned 40, by the way, next week.
Oh, you're 40?
I'm going to be 40, yeah.
Wow.
Check that out.
I thought you were like 25.
So I'm old millennial. I'm like the millennial Gen X bubble, right? I'm like right there on the cusp.
Old enough to be my daddy.
I could, absolutely. We'll save that reveal for another program. We'll save that for a slow news week.
Daddy owes you.
Daddy does owe you.
Need my child support.
Good luck. Good luck getting that out of me.
Give it. I want a weekly allowance.
Oh, you're such a weirdo. It's called a paycheck. You come in here and you get paid massive dollars to hang out with me on Sunday night.
Not from you.
Not from me. That's true. I'm not the one that pays you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Speaking of education, let's pivot for a second. Check this out. I saw this earlier today over at the Populous Times. There's a study out. 1 in 4 students in the United States are expected to be English language learners by next year. So that's a different way of saying that a quarter of students in U.S. schools are not going to have English as their primary language. They're going to have to learn English in order to obtain their education. This is from the study, and just check this out. By 2021, education spending, had increased 136% under the establishment, right, of Jimmy Carter, who is the one who brought the education department into being. And the number of students in the U.S. education system also increased, but only by about 9%, with historical rises and falls in the intervening years. In 1977, there were roughly 46.5 million school-age children in the United States. Today, 49.6 million. And some of that has to do with the fact that our demographic bubble is bursting, right? People are just not having kids. As of 2023, about 26%, or more than a quarter of the children in U.S. households, came from immigrant households, double the share of children from immigrant households in 1990. By 2021, there were a stunning 5.3 million English learners in U.S. public schools, or about 1 in 9 of the United States' roughly 45 million enrolled students that year. That is stunning. Absolutely stunning. The word is appropriate. Now, there's nothing wrong, obviously, with immigration, right? But as we've talked about many times, especially during this cycle since Donald Trump tackled this issue head on, there comes a point, right, where if you have too much immigration at one time and it overwhelms the system, does our system have the ability to turn that many people into Americans? And by turning them into Americans, you know what I mean when I say that. Being American isn't a shade of pigment, right? Being American isn't how you pray to God, right? Being American isn't coming from a certain country originally, or where you were born, or who your parents are. It's believing in a common set of principles, a common set of values. And one of the ways you develop that commonality is sharing certain commonalities, like the ability to communicate in a single language. Do you have confidence, especially with the state of the current U.S. education system, that we're going to be able to take all of these millions of kids and teach them what they need to know, not only from a basic academic perspective, but also what they need to know to be good citizens? Not just talking about reading, writing, and arithmetic here. It's daunting. And it's one of the many reasons why Donald Trump's deportation program for illegals and also getting the border under control, it's just so gosh darn important. 855-839-1210. That's the number here on the Matt Rooney Show. Over on YouTube, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Dawn Fantasia, who's been talking about Phil Murphy's immigration policies in New Jersey for a long time. We're going to get her perspective on election 2025 and a whole lot more here on 1210 WPHT.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano. One of the biggest, healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and a lot more. And one more thing, this Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November, so why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements right now at res-q.com. Do it today.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Millions of Americans are trying to grab an early jump on a holiday getaway. Will Lovner and Katie Florio win this year's Philadelphia Marathon for the men and women's divisions respectively. And the Eagles take on the Rams tonight in Los Angeles.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED. And it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hey, shh. Listen. Do you hear that? It's your heart. Chances are you take that precious sound for granted. And if you're like a lot of Americans, 1/3 to be exact, you're not doing anything to prevent heart disease. So what if a cardiologist told you exactly how best to love your heart? Would you listen then? Go to clevelandclinic.org/loveyourheart and learn what really matters and what doesn't when it comes to that lovable heart of yours.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Well, young Master Daniel, the dipping sticks are now in my belly.
Makes one of us.
I instantly regret that decision, too.
Yeah, well.
I didn't need to eat them, but they were really good.
Trying to watch your girlish figure.
Well, heading into Thanksgiving, you got to be careful, right? Because you're going to gorge yourself at the end of the week.
I don't eat a lot for Thanksgiving. I eat like maybe one plate, call it a day.
You're such a weirdo. Don't bring us down. Most of us are excited for this meal.
That's fine.
You go eat your key lime pie in the corner.
I am more intrigued about my 2 days off than anything else, so. Paid 2 days off.
YouTube.com/@1210WPHT, folks. Head on over, give us a like. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Daniel founded this channel before he left, prior to his return.
I did.
And now it's over 8,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
That's something else.
Yeah.
That is your legacy.
Yes. It is. I mean, I started the Kale stream in the morning. I don't know if I still get credit for it, but I did start the Kale stream in the morning. I did start the channel. I did get everything up and running. I got a lot of the stream running, so it's kind of like my baby.
Everyone has forgotten it except for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all these cameras I got in here.
You did.
I'm still actively working to get new stuff for the stream, not just this show, but for everything.
Yeah, no, you definitely brought us into the modern age here in terms of technology and communicating with people. And our stream here on the Matt Rooney Show was one of the first to go all 3 hours. And then a lot of other programs decided they liked it.
We were the first stream to go all 3 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're innovators around here.
Yeah.
At the Matt Rooney Show. 855-839-1210 also. That's our number if you want to call. But keep it pithy, keep it interesting. Don't call in just to hear yourself talk, because we've got enough of that. And by the way, it's my show, so we want to hear me talk. Presumably that's why most people listen. Some people like to hear Dan as well, as odd as that may sound. They find him entertaining.
Am I supposed to respond?
Well, you don't have to.
I'm sorry, I was just getting things ready.
Boop.
I got nothing.
He's got nothing.
Got nothing.
Well, our next guest has got something. New Jersey It's one of the themes of the program tonight. Not as blue as advertised. And I've been telling you all this forever, especially those of you that don't live in New Jersey. We are not hopelessly blue. We've been blue for a number of years now for complicated reasons, one of which, if I may be a little controversial here for a second, is we have not had a strong, effective state party in New Jersey for a long time. We've also not gotten some of the national love and investment and attention of some other near battleground states like a Virginia, where many people in the D.C. Republican establishment live. So therefore, obviously, they care about the place that's right next door that they call home a little bit more than that blue state a little bit further up 95. But New Jersey shocked the political world this year with Donald Trump finishing under 6%, about 5.5 points behind Kamala Harris, almost taking the state. That's a close race. And solidifying what looks like New Jersey's new status as a potential swing state for 2028 and beyond. Why is this so important? I mean, obviously for national politics, New Jersey as a swing state helps revolutionize the electoral map. But New Jersey, along with Virginia, has off-year gubernatorial elections. The entire assembly and the governor's seat is up in 2025. So the political world will now be turning its attention to my home state, the Dirty Jers, over the course of the next 12 months. So who better to join us on the program to kick things off as we explore every aspect of New Jersey politics over the course of the next year than one of the state's great conservative legislators. She represents the 24th legislative district up in North Jersey, beautiful part of the world. And she's one of a handful of assembly people in Trenton that I can be reasonably sure if the Democrats are up to something silly, crazy, stupid, she's out there pushing back and fighting and articulating the conservative position in a way that makes us all proud and happy that she's engaged in the fight and she's there in Trenton. She's there so we don't have to be. No one should ever want to hang out in Trenton. It's a crazy, silly place. Without further ado, let's bring on our friend, Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia, who joins us tonight on 1210 WPHT. Assemblywoman, we appreciate you joining us as always. Welcome back.
Well, thanks for having me, Matt.
So I don't even know where to begin with you tonight, and I say that because I don't know if it relates to the election results in any way, but there's just been an uptick in the level of stupid coming out of the Trenton establishment in recent weeks. Crazy things they've said, crazier things they're doing. Some of the legislation that's currently percolating is insane, even by Trenton standards. Let's talk about the bird feeder bill, because I teased it at the beginning of the show, and this is something that's going to make our listeners outside of New Jersey and Pennsylvania and elsewhere really scratch their heads. At a time when a lot of your constituents, Assemblywoman, are deeply concerned as they prepare for Thanksgiving about whether or not they're going to be able to provide a Christmas for their kids, Trenton Democrats are trying to ban bird feeders. I don't think you're going to be able to explain this logically to us, but can you at least explain to us what this bill is at least trying to accomplish?
I can certainly try.
Do your best. We know you will.
Okay. Well, what I can say is how it started out was it was really a bill that was brought to basically urban Democrat legislators, and there was a reason for that. It was brought, the initial bill was a bill that addressed intentional feeding of bears, and that was passed back in the day by District 24 legislators and some other legislators in the northwestern part of the state, and that banned intentional feeding of bear. Flash forward, they now want to address what they call unintentional feeding of bear. And the thinly veiled, underlying factor was they were really trying to eliminate deer baiting. That was the main crux of this bill. And they were getting no love from us in Northwest New Jersey, because we know here deer baiting is a really, really integral part of hunting and the culture. Plus, with the saturation of deer, it really pulls deer away from the roadways, makes the roads safer, and makes the culling of deer much easier when it's hunting season. But since they are so anti-hunting, they don't want to hunt bear, they don't want us to hunt deer, they don't want us to hunt, period. So this bill is floated by various organizations and anti-hunting groups, and who better to go to than legislators, let's say in East Brunswick and in Cliffside Park, with their saturation of bears, which is completely ludicrous. So they go to these, bleeding hearts, and they pitch their tale of woe and the Disneyfication, and talk about our garbage situation, and they figure that if we limit deer baiting, if we limit bird feeders between certain, parts of the year, if we eliminate the feeding of, let's say, outdoor feral cats to 2 hours a day, if we can fine the residents of Northwest New Jersey upwards of $1,000 per incident where a bear breaks into your bear-proof, and I say that tongue-in-cheek because there's no such thing as a bear-proof garbage can.
Right.
They're bear-resistant garbage cans, right? So if a bear breaks into your car, if you had any food in your car, if a bear, gets to your bird seed, et cetera, their, big idea was to fine the residents up to, their initial bill had $1,000 fine for the first fine that you received. And then they put a fun little twist on it. They said no longer would those funds go to the Department of Fish and Wildlife. Those funds would actually go to your municipality, which in essence would have created like this militia of Karens, like I call it an HOA on crack, that would be going around measuring, where bird feeders were hanging and, whose garbage got hit that morning and, all this kinds of nonsense.
Dawn's kids left some French fries in the car and Yogi Bear got in and
and busts in and up $1,000 for you, $1,000 for you, thinking that municipalities would be like really jacked about this and say, wow, this is great. This is how we're going to make up for some of the revenue of being the redheaded stepchild of Trenton who gets the short end of the stick all the time. Well, this bill pretty much imploded. First of all, the anti-hunting groups, were dead in the water because they were called out. One of the people they sent to testify actually has been arrested in Sussex County 4 times for interfering with the hunt, like laying in front of way stations and cars and even releasing nuisance bears that were caught by Fish and Wildlife in traps. And actually the 4th time was a charm, and she was first sentenced to any jail time at all, which ended up being modified. But these are the kinds of people that they're sending to our urban legislators who don't know any better. And so the hunting advocates got very, very active about this bill. And that part was stopped. Also enforcement, that part was stopped as well because it pulled it away from like the Fish and Game Police side and put it, the responsibility on local law enforcement. That was stopped. Next, everybody who is not inundated with bears, like Northwest New Jersey is, started looking at the bird feeder component, and they hit the ceiling that they were going to be playing, ping pong with their bird feeder all day long, and, that it was going to cause nothing but problems. So now that piece allegedly, as one news report had said, Senator Gordon Johnson, I believe, in the Senate, may be the primary sponsor. I was just dealing with the Assembly deluded legislators. But he had now said that bird feeders would be out. Now they're going to focus on the, quote, bear-proof cans. Well, I think they have another thing coming if they're going to push that issue as well.
And, of course, the joke with all of this, Assemblywoman, and you hinted at it a moment ago when you were talking about that individual who's been arrested a number of times. Trenton created, or I should say at least severely exacerbated, the black bear problem by limiting and at one point outright banning the hunt for years under the administration of Phil Murphy. So this is what big government does, right? They create a problem when the government unnecessarily intervenes here because they were heeding the wishes of radical environmentalists, which form a essential part of the Democrat coalition. And now that the problem has become extreme, there was an uptick in negative interactions between black bears and residents of our state, very much in your part of the world. Now, all of a sudden, we're going to penalize the people who are suffering because of bad Trenton policy. It just never really seems to end, I guess the only good news is for you and I as we sit here today in November, looking forward to next year. Do you get the sense that our fellow New Jerseyans are like the rest of America and they're beginning to become concerned that Democrats' priorities may not be lined up with their own?
I think that that's a given. I mean, that's a grand slam to assume that. I mean, if we think about, Matt, you would know better than me being in this state political world a lot longer than I have been. Thousands of bills are introduced. And the fact that this bill made it to the front of the line for deer bait and bird feeders, this happened to coincide, obviously, right, to bring attention to the start of the bear hunt, which, by the way, did start with not a whole lot of fanfare, for the first time in years. It's always been nonsense. You always have Lesniak, from down in Elizabeth, where he's inundated with bears, too, I'm sure, the Build-A-Bear Workshop, where he, kicks and screams and yells about something he never has to deal with. You had it coincide with that. So I don't think it was accidental. I think it's very stupid and it's a waste of our time. And I can name, a dozen bills like that certainly supersede the importance of banning a bird feeder. But again, you nailed it. It took, people getting literally attacked, bit, going out to get their mail, dogs being killed, all kinds of pets and livestock, property damage, dead bears strewn all about the roads. And it really took basically public shaming and the danger that we were in Northwest New Jersey from this exploding population for the governor to change course. And, better late than never, but he changed course and reinstituted the hunt. I mean, it's absolutely unsustainable. And the Disneyfication of bears has to stop. It has to stop.
I'm convinced as a millennial that that's part of the problem, at least up until this point, that my generation was reared on Disney movies. So if you don't have to live with the problem, as you say, you have this vision of these bears as, again, something like what you saw in the Jungle Book as a kid. Well, forest creatures don't all go and hang out peacefully with the local village princess and sing cute little songs. No, they're dangerous. They're natural predators. And it's not that they're out to hurt people, obviously. They're animals. They don't have the agency humans do. But when they think you're between them and a meal, or if they think that you are a threat to them or their cubs, especially during more sensitive times of the year, it's a problem. So, we head into this 2025 election cycle, and we're coming up on a commercial break. We know that Jack Ciattarelli, who was the 2021 nominee, came within 3 points of defeating Phil Murphy right after COVID. Now we know that Donald Trump has nearly done the impossible by making New Jersey a swing state in a federal cycle. Do you have high hopes that someone might finally be able to break through this year, upcoming in 2025, and finally make New Jersey turn red?
I do. I was very surprised to see the areas where Donald Trump had the inroads. Look at Passaic County, for example. I mean, even in Bergen County, the city of Garfield voted for Trump. You saw him have these inroads in very unexpected places, which actually, if you look at the counties that Jack Ciattarelli pulled towards him in the last election, when you combine them, we are making up a very, very large part of the state with those two groups, because there was some crossover, but there wasn't a ton of crossover. So what I'm thinking is, what happened momentum-wise with Ciattarelli, now you take Trump's explosive momentum in different areas and you combine that, and I think it's really anybody's game. I think we have a very competitive race this year.
And I think you're right. In the Garfield example, go check that out, folks. Do a little independent research. Barack Obama got 67% of the vote in Garfield, New Jersey back in 2012. Not even the first time around, 2012, when it was a much closer fight with Mitt Romney. Something's happening in New Jersey. And if you don't believe me, you can take it from Dawn Fantasia, Assemblywoman extraordinaire of New Jersey's fighting 24th Legislative District. We always appreciate you checking in to not help us make sense of Trenton insanity, but maybe, sometimes misery loves company. We can commiserate about all the craziness. And we definitely have to have you back this year as election 2025 grinds on, heats up, and hopefully we finally have a chance to save our state. Fingers crossed, right?
I look forward to it.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. Assemblywoman Dawn Fantasia, everyone, here on the Matt Rooney Show. Let's take a break to play some ads and make some money because we're unapologetic capitalists around here, and we'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Millions of Americans are trying to grab an early jump on a holiday getaway. Will Lovner and Katie Florio win this year's Philadelphia Marathon for the men and women's divisions respectively. And the Eagles take on the Rams tonight in Los Angeles.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Never enough time to get to everything we want to in the stack. But if you haven't been following this Jaguar storyline about their new ad campaign, oh, it's a good one. Have you seen their ad?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, there's no car in it.
There's no car. Even Elon Musk pointed that out on X. Do you guys still sell cars?
Yeah.
I can't figure it out. And, of course, now the CEO is doing what these CEOs always do in the woke era, since boardrooms are woke. He's dismayed at how everyone's being so mean to Jaguar.
That sucks.
For an ad campaign that has nothing to do with cars. It just is a bunch of, I don't know if they're trans or from space.
Unique.
They're unique people. Oh, that was so nice of you, Dan, to call them unique.
That's what the ad says.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ad says unique.
Unique. A little freaky. Little
it's freaky deaky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Definitely check. I mean, what immediately came to my mind, and I'm dating myself again, is Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you were using the Rocky Horror Picture Show,
yeah,
to sell Jaguars, people are over this stuff, man. Bad timing by Jaguar. Well, it's never a good time for our next segment, but it's one that is a condition of Dan's employment. It's in his contract. So I apologize in advance, and I have no choice. But what time is it, Dan?
Hey, guys, gather round. Gather round.
It's Twit Talk time! Today's not bad at all, actually. There's not weird ones. So
you said that there's some liberal tears in there.
Yeah, we'll do that one at the end.
Some fan favorite.
Yeah, we'll do that one at the end.
Content.
Let's see here. Polling Nostradamus You know who that is?
I do know who Nostradamus is.
Yeah,
Yes,
see
thank
it.
you.
Alan Lichtman. I have the time when he noticed that he was wrong in his prediction.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So here we go.
He's now up 4 points. I don't get it. Why they think Trump's going to win Pennsylvania.
I'm not worried about Pennsylvania. I think Pennsylvania's looking good for Harris.
I do too. But I'm saying the New York Times gives a slight edge to Trump, and I don't understand that.
Yeah, I wouldn't read into that too much.
Oops.
Courtesy of the New York Post.
Oopsies.
Yeah, so he basically notices like, I'm wrong. So
I said this earlier in the program. I think we were talking to Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen. There's a podcast, and I wish I had found it, but somebody called him out on his nonsense, Alan Lichtman.
Yeah.
And, of course, this is the professor who has his keys and has correctly predicted the president for however many years, even though he got it wrong before. He got it wrong in 2000. And he accused the guy questioning him of blasphemy for questioning him. Now, we all know what blasphemy means. It tells you something about how these people perceive themselves. He thinks he has some kind of godlike authority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another person that hopefully this cycle is the end of professionally. Probably won't be that lucky.
Someone says that you didn't vote for him for homecoming king, so therefore you can't vote for president.
Oh, now y'all want to vote and stuff, huh? But when I was running for homecoming king, y'all couldn't vote. Hell no, I ain't voting. Vote by yourself.
Vote by yourself.
They don't want to vote for him for homecoming king, so you don't get to vote now.
I mean, hard to argue with that logic.
Yeah. We have exclusive audio on this show.
Oh, this is big.
As we always do.
You often do.
Yeah. Trump actually called Biden when he won.
Ah.
Yeah. And this is what he had to say.
What? I wasn't sleeping. Hey, Joe, it's Donnie. I just wanted to call and see if we could make amends. You want to go get a pizza? Oh, I love pizza. You really want to get a pizza with me, Donnie? Yeah, a pizza D's not stupid. Get out of my office. Oh, come on.
That's malarkey.
Yeah.
That's malarkey.
There's a bunch of malarkey.
Another thing we haven't got to touch on this program because we were gone for a couple weeks, the grin on Joe Biden's face when Donald Trump visited the White House.
So happy.
Could it be any more obvious that he and Jill voted for Trump?
It's
between that and the red dress she wore on Election Day.
He loved it. He loved it.
Oh, God, it had to drive Kamala crazy. I bet she beat up Doug Emhoff.
This is
out of anger.
This is a girl who said that the Democrats need to run on something else.
Oh, interesting.
The presidency, the House, the Senate, and the popular vote? Damn! I hope that makes Democrats realize they need actual, policy ideas and not just run on abortion. And also, pick better candidates. I don't know. Crazy thought.
Crazy thought.
There you go, crazy thought.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah.
That even though the media bubble people can't fathom it, most Americans consider Donald Trump infinitely more likable and competent than Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And it's not as if she had any great new novel ideas that she could have leaned on that might have helped her get over the nobody can stand her hump.
Right.
That's the election in a nutshell right there.
Democrats ran on hating Trump, and that was it. They didn't run on anything else. It was a hate Trump campaign. Clearly, it did not work, but that's all it was. And they need to run on something else because Trump cannot run anymore. They can't keep running on hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. They can't do it.
And it's going to become a problem, too, not to take us off of Twit subject here, but it's going to become a double-edged sword because it's a problem for Democrats for the reasons Dan just articulated quite well. It's going to become a problem for Republicans, too. Because Republicans ran behind Donald Trump this year. They often do. Donald Trump outperformed them in New Jersey. So Republicans need to get on the Donald Trump bandwagon and down with his program as quickly as possible because they're not going to have him around much longer to continue to build this coalition for their benefit. So there should be alarm on the Democrat side, and there should be some concern on the Republican side looking forward to 2028 and beyond.
This next one, I had tears in my eyes, just like our next woman here. it's hilarious. There's really nothing else to say.
Oh, thank you, Pennsylvania. I went to sleep and I woke up and now our country is safe. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I know that God wouldn't let us be destroyed. Oh, thank you. I prayed and I prayed. Thank you, Lord, for saving our country. Thank you.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of how I felt, but you said it better.
Yeah, I had tears in my eyes when I saw it. I just think it's hilarious.
You know, that's how a lot of people felt, though.
Yeah.
Right? And guess what? You know, spoiler alert, that's not a white man that you just heard, right?
It's not.
Not a white man.
At all, no.
It's going to shock you all to hear that. But, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people who rightly felt like this election was different, and they showed up and they voted.
There was another TikTok that I had in mind, but there was way too much F-bombs in it, and I didn't want to do that much editing.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Where she said she wasn't voting for other people. She was voting for herself.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't care what other people's feelings are. She's voting for herself. So, but there was a lot of other F-bombs in there. So
we'll save that for the online edition of the Matt Rooney Show.
It's Matt Rooney After Dark.
Matt Rooney After
We
Dark.
can go to our date at Popeyes and have a couple.
That's right. We just eat Cajun rice and curse at each other. Yeah.
Now,
I'd watch that.
The moment you've been waiting for, liberal meltdowns. This is 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is.
Never gets old. Doesn't matter.
This is from the Daily Wire, so I can't say that I put it together, but it is from them, and they did a great job. So without further ado, here are liberal meltdowns. Why is there no audio? This is terrible. Hold on. I don't know why there's no audio. What is going on here? Talk amongst yourself.
It's perfect because you queued it up as the moment we've all been waiting for.
Right, and the moment we all were waiting for.
Which we have been.
And now there's just no audio.
And now it's a moment, but for a very different reason.
Yeah.
Because we have now, you've fallen.
Oh, here you go. I got it.
Tripped me, and now I'm falling on my face.
All right. I got it. All right, here you go.
Trump's actually gonna win this thing. I'm so pissed off. Good morning.
The bigotry and hatred. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. We're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
I hate this dumb who can't shut his little pie hole asshole.
Who the f is voting for him? You. How fucking dare you? We are I chose family. I chose women. I chose America.
I'm done with you.
This will break right. It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of this will ever happen.
Wrong. There's your liberal meltdowns. It's better if you actually watch the video. But yeah, there you go.
And you got the F-bombs. You got them.
I didn't do that. The Daily Wire did.
The Daily Wire did.
So this whole compilation is courtesy of them. So they're the ones who did all the cursing and all that kind of stuff. So if you saw some of these people, you'd be like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and guess what? To tie everything together tonight in a cute little bow, these people are a big part of the reason why Republicans were successful this month, right? I mean, I think most normies, as they're sometimes called, normal Americans, right, that get up and they vote, are my kids safe? Do I have more money in my bank account? Do I have to sell a kidney to buy eggs or pay for Thanksgiving dinner to get Dan's key lime pie, right? That's what I want my politicians to focus on. These people that were voting against Orange Hitler, that are obsessed with social issues, they turned everybody off.
Also, since we have time for one more, I have the Jaguar
bonus clip.
I have the Jaguar ad.
And
I also have
Jaguar.
And I also have a Jaguar ad follow up.
Oh,
yeah. So if you would like,
let's do it.
If you'd like to see those,
let's do it.
It's more of a video thing than audio, but for the people watching.
My favorite is the Asian guy in the life preserver or whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delete ordinary.
Yeah.
And then there's a tranny guy with a hammer.
Yeah. So I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
However, there is a follow-up. If you are so interested in that.
But it just fascinates me, though, because what market research suggested to Jaguar that the people that buy Jaguars want that?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe they're onto something. I don't know.
Would you like the follow-up?
Sure.
Here we go. You have to watch it again. You gotta.
No, it's totally fine that on a radio program we're playing something that people need to see to understand.
Right. I mean, it's really not. It's really more of a, it is what it is. But like,
yeah,
if you
for those who don't know, a Jaguar runs in.
It's an AI Jaguar.
Yeah, I think there's actually two, and chases away all of the space people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I got for you. I'll get this radio thing situated soon.
Twit Talk, as bizarre as it is unsatisfying as usual. But thank you, and happy Thanksgiving, Producer Dan. I'm grateful for all you do. I'm grateful for all of you out there in the audience. Have a wonderful holiday. Don't eat too much. Who am I kidding? Eat as much as you want, and we'll see you next week. But until then, stay safe, stay sane, and keep fighting for this greatest nation in God's creation. It's worth it.
Back on top in June. I said that's life.
There's a chill in the air. You flip on the heat, and nothing. And why does it always happen right after you've finally gotten cozy? For as little as $13 a month, Oliver will keep your home's heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical systems in check year-round. And guess what? Membership also comes with yearly inspections.